The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
You can save up to $1,930 on a new furnace and AC combo or boiler. Don't miss this great deal. Go to standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The Japanese movie Godzilla -1 received a surprise Oscar nomination for visual effects. Also receiving nominations, the Godzilla prequel, Oppenheimer.
Spirit Airlines shares have fallen 58% after a federal judge blocked a merger with JetBlue. So now the only way Spirit and JetBlue will merge is midair. A plane in Brazil was stranded on the runway after the plane's wing was covered by a swarm of bees. Bees who work together to spell out, "Wing is missing screws."
It's been rumored that Disney World has plans to install a maternity ward inside the Magic Kingdom so guests can give birth at the park. The only catch is Goofy gets to watch.
A man in California was arrested after he went to a Planet Fitness, took off his clothes, and threatened people with a knife, which, to be fair, is the only way Planet Fitness lets you cancel your membership. A 99-year-old woman in Canada broke 3 world swimming records for her age class in the same day, until finally someone noticed she had fallen in.
Monday. So haven't you heard of Bare Minimum Mondays? Break time. I'll be back.
It's showtime.
All right, you bastards. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Welcome to that undeniable pain of being awake and active early on a Monday morning.
Isn't that the truth?
Talk to me, Cubby.
Well, I'll tell you what. First, I got to tell you something I saw on Saturday that I've never seen in my entire life before, and I'm wondering if this is a new thing.
That is awesome. Something you've never seen before in your life, and you want to ask us if it's a thing or not.
But before I get to that, actually.
Oh.
I'm a little concerned that I'm going to be loopy, weird, or seem more off than usual because last night, one of my dogs threatened to kill me.
Oh, wow.
Why?
We're having some work done at our house, so we were kicked out of our room, and we've got a mattress on the floor, so which is perfect for our dogs just to kind of hover over. We got a couple big dogs, and they're both mama's boys, big time. One of the dogs, the older one, was standing over me. I feel this breath on my face a few times in the middle of the night, growling in my ear because he wanted me out of the bed so he could lay next to my wife.
Oh, wow. You better watch your back.
I was up all night. I thought he's going to rip my throat out.
Yeah?
God
and the door doesn't close all the way, so we couldn't lock this murderous dog out.
That's awesome.
And the dog is big enough that it could rip your throat out very easily.
He's got 40 pounds on me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could take me easy.
You were sound asleep. You woke up to the sight
a few times
of a damn big, massive dog growling in your face.
It was creepy.
Preparing to kill you.
Yeah, very creepy. And then it's foggy outside, and I thought, oh no, there's something out there.
You got to show this sumbitch, who's running things.
What would you suggest?
Throw him out.
Well, we did throw him out of the room eventually. Had to barricade the door.
Wow, that's a interesting situation for a guy to find himself
very
in.
Very yeah, it's never happened before.
Man.
So that was fun. He's old and cranky at this point.
And you were wondering if any of us have experienced such things?
No, there's something else I saw. This was on Saturday.
Something else you saw. Yeah, right.
We went to a restaurant after my son's basketball game, and I saw a lady out front who was smoking and vaping at the same time.
Wow, the double.
Yeah, she'd go for one, pull that out of her mouth, go for the other one.
Oh,
cigarette.
Kind of like some of the movies you guys watch, and a little bit different though, I guess.
That's probably great for your health.
Cigarette in one side of her yap and a vape.
No, she would take turns.
Are you sure it wasn't a weed pen?
Oh, yeah.
I have no
Good
idea.
point.
One was a vape, and the other one was a cigarette.
I bet it was a weed pen.
That's
you think
a
so?
very good
So
point.
she was smoking a cigarette and then hitting her weed pen.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, did you smell marijuana?
Not at all.
Then it wasn't a
It
weed
smelled
pen.
fruity like Ashley.
Yeah.
Weed pens don't always smell like marijuana.
Well, he said it smelled fruity.
Yeah, fruity.
Yeah, they smell fruity.
Some of them.
Oh, the marijuana ones do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The weed people, they really want it to be weed. Everyone else is...
It's possible.
Well, just because that would make way more sense than her hitting a regular tobacco e-cig and then a cigarette.
Have you guys ever seen something like that before?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen... I mean, if you count this, plenty of guys, back when I was a kid, would try to show how tough they were by smoking a cigarette and having a big, fat Copenhagen in their yap. If you want to, I don't know if you've put that on the same level as, but yeah, I've seen smoking and chewing. Interesting, though. Interesting move by that lady.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before.
Maybe she's on her way out and just figure, what the hell? You know what I mean? I'm going to bomb myself with every harmful product imaginable because I ain't got much time left anyway.
Yeah,
Did she
maybe
look
she was
sickly?
trying to quit smoking or trying to quit vaping. I don't know. One of the two. Up at the crack of dawn, Jesus asked if she had a nicotine patch just to go for the hat trick. You know, that's a great question.
No kidding. You saw some things over the weekend.
Yeah, couple things.
You saw some friggin' things.
Couple things. We had a little more drama at the basketball court. I had mentioned last week there was some parents. Well, I shouldn't say parents. There's one particular parent who was a little out of control. There was one guy that at first he threw out a couple of things where other parents were like, hey, you know, people were telling him to kind of slow down and how aggressive he was.
Cursing and whatnot?
Yeah.
At the ball game this weekend.
Yeah, a little upset. And, but it was about someone on my son's team had clearly fouled someone on the other team and it wasn't called, right? So he was vocal about that. He was awful quiet about when his team fouled and it didn't get called, but he was selectively angry. He got kind of shushed by the rest of the crowd. But my favorite was there's a dad, who's a parent of one of the kids on my team. And, the dad didn't think his son was having a very good day. And so he's kind of joking around about his son. And when his son would do something he didn't think was good, he'd start to rattle off some other things maybe that could occupy his time instead of basketball, saying basketball clearly isn't his sport.
Oh, no. Poor kid.
His son would do something the dad didn't like, and he's like, there's got to be a Lego club. Maybe he could become a YouTube influencer, and he's going down this list of stuff. This guy was so friggin' funny.
Delivering papers.
Oh, it was awesome.
Volunteering his time to the elderly.
Yeah, I hadn't heard something like that before. Yeah. I mean, he had the crowd going.
Good deal.
It was so funny.
Nice to hang out with someone with a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In a situation like that, at those friggin' youth ball games and whatnot. Well, there you go. Josh sounds like he had a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah, it was an interesting weekend.
Your mustache disappeared.
I had to get rid of it.
His mustache is gone.
Yeah.
Just after we were humping his leg
Complimenting
all morning last Friday morning about his brand new mustache. It's gone.
There was too much attention around it. Too much pressure.
Yeah, the hype was getting too big.
Understandable.
Yeah, it really was. And what would happen is I'd catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror every once in a while, like, going to pee or whatever I'm doing, and I'm like, that is so stupid. I got to get rid of this thing. And eventually I just couldn't do it anymore. I kept it until, I guess I got rid of it Saturday.
Slightly disappointed, but I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Maybe I'll try it again. I don't know.
I've tried damn near every possible style of facial hair in my adult years, and there were some.
I've never seen you with a soul patch.
No, that's probably the one thing I've never gone with, just because I think it just looks horrible on anybody. But I know that feeling where you check yourself out and you say, oh, what am I doing? I know that feeling, if in fact that's what you experienced.
It was one of those.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, unfortunately, I've let down drunk Uncle Firefighter Jesus, who last week sent in a picture of his awesome mustache. Yeah. It's a hell of a mustache.
He wanted you to be part of the club, and
when you think firefighter, this is what I think, right? Mm-hmm. Just a tough guy mustache. And all he wrote was ... so disappointed.
I'm looking at that picture he sent in last week. That's a hell of a mustache.
Isn't that an awesome mustache?
That's a great soup strainer right there.
Yeah, he looks badass.
Let me tell you something. While we're on the topic of facial hair and whatnot, I need to stop off at my neighborhood Target or something. I had 2 separate grooming tools fail over the weekend. One big, fat, rusty one, the old trusty, rusty groomer, had it for years. And then I had a fancier, schmancier one, more current. Both, over the weekend, failed me. So holler at me if any of you start tripping over my eyebrows or anything like that, because I've got nothing to use for these specific tasks anymore.
How did they fail?
I
Just
don't
like
know.
the battery, they just wouldn't start anymore?
Didn't start. Took them apart, cleaned them out, wouldn't fire up again.
That stinks.
Some of you are probably saying, Christ, you had 2 of them? Well, yeah. You know,
For different things?
For different things.
One for upstairs, one for downstairs?
Hey, it doesn't really matter. I'm not picky like that. I just had 2 separate. One trusty old one and one more modern one, depending on how fancy I felt that day, whether I used one or the other. But they both in the same weekend failed, so I'm starting to already feel subconscious that the thing that troubles me the most is if the eyebrows get long. So I'll try to get out to a Target today and handle my business and get a new apparatus for my grooming. But just holler at me if my eyebrows get in the way.
You know, I groomed my eyebrows.
They look great.
Oh, thank you. The first time I ever did it, I was shamed. I was shamed for grooming my eyebrows, and I didn't pluck them or shape them in a weird way or use any eyebrow liner or
Who
whatever.
was it that shamed you?
It was a girlfirend at the time.
Oh, she needs to save it.
She could have used a little help herself.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what it was. She was jealous.
Ah, that's silly. Why would you? I mean, it certainly never entered my mind as a young person. Never entered my mind until I was sitting around with a buddy of mine and a young lady. This is maybe when we were probably into our 30s at this point. And I knew nothing of eyebrow care. I didn't think that was anything any dude would ever bother with, you know. Outside of the obvious, there were some dudes on television when we were young, Josh, whose eyebrows were absolutely out of control. Like, what was his name? Ernest Borgnine.
Oh man,
eyebrows absolutely out of control. God, who was that? Anyway, so I'm into my 30s now, and it was never anything that ever crossed my mind, grooming my eyebrows. But I'm sitting with a buddy of mine, and we were hanging out with one young lady, a hot mama, as Josh would say, and she made fun of my buddy's eyebrows because they were quite out of control. One hair actually was standing straight out, and he did, until she said to my buddy, she said, dude, you got to take care of that. I'd never noticed it on him or any other guy, including myself. When she made fun of him and I took a close look at what was hanging off of his face, I thought, oh, okay, I don't want that to be me someday where someone makes fun of me, so that was my introduction to eyebrow care.
I've learned a lot about that kind of stuff, you know, grooming from other people getting made fun of or me getting made fun of. Stuff you just never think about. Like eyebrows, I never would have thought of it. Never once. I remember back when I had hair, I had a barber, he trimmed my ear hair like on the top of my earlobes.
Oh, right.
I thought at first, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah,
And he's like, oh yeah, you had a few stragglers there. I'm like, what, I do?
My ear?
I didn't even know you could do something like that. I had no idea your friggin' earlobes could grow hair.
I grow hair on my ears like a bastard. And I'm not talking about coming out from the inside, although that is a thing as well. Of course, we all have hair on the inside. I'm talking about on my earlobes, on the top of my... I have to check it out almost every day.
Yeah, I do too. It just pops up out of nowhere.
If I let it go for... Here's the thing. When let's say by chance I make it to 85 years old and I'm laid out in a home, you know, there better be someone who does that for me or I'm going to look like a circus freak. You know what I mean? Because if I'm unable to care for myself at some point in my life, there better be one nurse or whatever the term is, one caregiver that handles trimming the hair off of my ears because it's going to be an ugly, ugly sight.
Yeah, I'm going to need a groomer guy too.
Absolutely.
It's so quick.
Absolutely. And at that point in my life, I won't care about the eyebrows, the beard, the bush, whatever. Let that all buck. But at least get the hair off of my ears so I don't look like some kind of caveman, you know.
I did feel bad when I came in this morning about the mustache. I was looking up celebrity birthdays and it's Tom Selleck's birthday.
Aww.
I mean, the king of the mustache, and I thought that's a sign.
He's going to be so disappointed.
I made a terrible mistake.
You ruined Tom Selleck's birthday.
I have a feeling Tom Selleck does not care about me whatsoever, nor knows anything about me. Tom Selleck will be okay, but...
I see the connection there, but...
the first thing I thought of when I saw that is, I have done something terribly wrong.
I hear you.
Sam Elliott's got a great mustache.
Oh, he sure does.
Definitely.
I mentioned last week, I wanted to go for a Sam Elliott type mustache. and I just couldn't get it to work.
Oh,
I
that
wanted a
would've been
handlebar mustache. I couldn't figure it out.
Next time. There's always going to be a next time.
Oh, no. Naughty insurance agent Jesus got the taint while trying to groom things this weekend.
Got the taint?
Yeah, he
That's
got
not
it.
good.
Oh, he cut
Ouch.
himself. Yeah, that
And
can
then
happen.
he said he went tanning for the first time. He only went 5 minutes, and he burned everything. Yes, everything.
That's terrible.
Do you tan naked as a guy? Are you supposed to tan naked?
I always wore boxers when I went tanning back in the day.
I have never gone tanning.
Yeah, I've never gone completely naked. I feel like the undercarriage has to be covered. That's dangerous. You're flirting with some consequences there.
The undercarriage.
Yeah.
Everybody should cover their gear if you're going to duck into some kind of a tanning apparatus. I mentioned that there were some characters on television when we were young people whose eyebrows were out of control, and I've gotten a couple of text messages. The one that I came up with was, who did I say?
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine. R. Lee Ermey had wicked eyebrows, says a listener.
Yeah, he did.
Abe Vigoda from the television show Barney Miller, or maybe you remember him from The Godfather, or maybe you remember him from the Abe Vigoda. Absolutely.
He's a very good example of that.
Wildly funny guy. I don't know if he ever looked in the mirror. Abe Vigoda. That's not bad. Those aren't bad examples. Dr. P. Jesus coming to see us today?
Yep. Yeah, he'll be in studio.
Good. I haven't heard about a listener's terrible genital problems in a couple of weeks.
Always comes down to the genitals.
Dr. P. going to be here. That's good news.
Folks are texting in saying, yeah, you go naked when you go tanning.
Well, knock yourself out.
I think I'd start on fire if I went tanning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to start out with a minute. Next time you go, 2 minutes.
Is it really that quick? It's like microwaving something.
Somebody, I don't know. For somebody that's never gone, I would be sketched out. I mean, if I haven't gone in a really long time, and then I do 7 minutes, 6-7 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Josh was going to hit the 45-minute mark or anything. No.
They don't allow you at most places. Most places, depending on the level of the bed, they max you out at 12 minutes.
So we're talking about the old school tanning beds. Those are still a thing?
Yeah.
With the lights and the this and that?
I mean, they're way fancier now, but yeah.
I had no idea.
Naughty insurance agent Jesus checked back in. The front desk lady at the gym said go naked for 5 minutes. And he got the Irish burn, he said.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's knock yourselves out, tanning bed people, because you're probably there are better odds to catch me frisbee golfing than in a tanning bed. So.
Yeah, I'm saying those days are behind me.
Eugene Levy or Levy.
Yeah. That's a very good one.
Did he ever end up taking care of those damn things?
I don't think so.
No.
I haven't seen him on television in years. Did he ever? He must have come around at one point or another.
I don't think he has.
Someone, Josh, would you mind pulling me up a current picture of Eugene Levy?
I don't know how current this is, but...
No, they're still nice and thick. I mean, they're groomed.
Yeah, he got around to it.
Yeah, they're groomed.
They're not as unruly as they used to.
as they were in the 70s or the 80s. And I apologize if anyone's offended that I don't exactly know how to say his last name. It's not as if I'm unfamiliar. I've been a fan of Eugene Levy since his days on SCTV.
You hear people say both.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the late 70s into the early 80s, that man is an absolute riot. Someone's telling me that I don't know what this man looks like. Martin Scorsese, of course, I've heard his name many, many times. The director,
director. He's got big eyebrows too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's for sure. That's a good one.
All these people, though, if you took away their big bushy eyebrows, it just wouldn't be the same. It completes their face.
Yeah, I guess I can see that in some... how do you call it, cases? Bert from Sesame Street.
The OG.
Speaking of out of control eyebrows from back in the day. Bert from Sesame Street. I dig it. I dig you folks.
This person doesn't like tanning beds because they're shaped like caskets.
Yeah,
I bet if you're claustrophobic, a tanning bed's not for you. Although, do they have those standing ones, or is that a spray tan?
Yeah, they have standing up ones. Those are. It's so crazy though how tired you can get from standing there for longer than 5 minutes.
Maybe you need. You might have some kind of a leg issue. If you can't stand for 5 minutes, some kind of an artery blockage or something.
No, I usually go, if I do, it's after the show.
You can ask Dr. P.
Gotta lay down.
How come I'm only 26 and I can't stand for 5 minutes? I want to talk to Dr. P about that. So there you go. What else is going on around here? I'm sure we're all absolutely thrilled with the results of yesterday's football games.
Dude, I don't even want to watch the Super Bowl.
No, yeah, there's really no. Not, not as
Brock
much of a draw.
Purdy, cool. But I wanted the Lions to win.
Everybody did.
I think at halftime I almost thought, I'm going to turn this thing off.
Yep.
I think I've seen enough. They're dominating this game.
Yeah, I was talking so much smack. It's like, wow, the 49ers are just getting walked on. They're making them look so terrible, and then next thing you know, is 24-24.
Yeah, I felt bad. I texted my buddy who's born and raised Detroit at halftime.
Was that on purpose?
What do you mean?
A born and raised Detroit?
I don't think he had a choice, but he loves Detroit, obviously. And I texted him at halftime. I was like, dude, you're going to the Super Bowl.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell did you do that for?
It seemed like it was over.
Oh, is he mad?
He's very disappointed in life right now, yeah.
Chiefs,
Bummer.
49ers.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I would just get drunk and have some fun, I guess, like we do most Super Bowls. Who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah, as long as there's nice little appetizers to eat, I'm okay.
The born and raised Detroit, I thought you were making a Journey reference.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Born and raised in
South.
Stinking Detroit, they said in the hit single Don't Stop Believin' from 1981.
There was a band that performed yesterday during the game, and they changed it from South Detroit to San Francisco.
You see, I was told that was Journey.
It sounded just like Journey.
Yeah.
I read it was a local band.
I didn't see it. Well, they are a San Francisco.
Yeah, that's how, they just wrote local band, so you don't think.
I didn't see it, but I read that Journey performed the song at the ball game yesterday. Someone would have to pull me up a picture, and I could tell you if it's Journey or not, but I didn't see it.
It would make sense, yeah. So Blabbermouth said it was Journey. Yeah, weird. Two websites told me it was a local band. Maybe they were joking around.
Might have been
because I listened to it and it sounds exactly like Journey.
Yeah, legendary Bay Area rock act to perform.
So they were messing with folks.
Yeah,
That's great.
That was Journey, from what I understand. I slept through the first half of the ball game, that NFC game. I didn't see much of the AFC game, so I didn't see what the hell happened. All I know is the results don't exactly have me touching myself quite yet. But we've got, 3 or 4 weeks before they play the actual game?
Two.
Month or so.
2 weeks.
Everyone keeps bringing up the out-of-control eyebrows. People keep texting in someone named Andy Rooney. Should I know who that is?
Oh,
Andy
from, is it 60 Minutes?
Yep.
Never saw it.
Oh, yes, his eyebrows are insane.
He was great. I liked Andy Rooney.
I've never seen that man in my life. Is he still around?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh,
12 years ago he died.
fair enough. All right, what else is going on? Dr. P, Monday morning. Keep your eyebrows trimmed. Stay out of the tanning beds. And if you're not feeling the greatest, boy, just wait till that Super Bowl. Just wait. It's going to be a big one. And Journey is still an active band.
They sure as heck are.
Although the last time I went to go see them, I couldn't do it. I walked out.
No
too
way.
bad.
How many?
Really?
How far in were you to the concert?
Oh, 4 or 5 songs.
So you gave it a good try.
And the reason is not because they sound terrible. I'm sorry if I led you to believe that was why I walked out.
Oh, that's what I assumed.
Yeah, me too.
And I was going to explain myself, but even if you just assumed for a second that it's because they didn't sound good, I apologize, because Journey has sounded incredible from the word go, and they still sound incredible. The reason I walked out is it was just so ridiculous. Neil Sean and Ross Valerie and Steve Smith and who am I missing? Jonathan Cain. I mean, at the time, if they weren't 70, they were knocking on the door, right? And then the lead singer, who is incredible. That dude is such a insane talent. I can't think of his name. The dude, the little guy. Arnell, yes.
Pineda?
There you go.
Is that what it was?
It just looked so silly because you've got these 70-year-old guys, I mean, barely carrying themselves around the stage. And then Arnell is just doing David Lee Roth pinwheel kicks and backflips. It was just too much. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was obnoxious, and it didn't. I don't know. I'm coming off like a crazy person, but it just didn't. I just wanted the dude to settle down. So me and a buddy said, yeah, that's enough.
Just didn't fit. Well, sometimes you see that with some older acts where all of a sudden they've got like a 19-year-old guitar player with his shirt off going nuts, or a drummer that's playing his drums too hard for the song. It just doesn't make any sense. Like he's just really going for it.
And I had seen the Arnell guy a few times, and I loved it. He sounds perfect. He sounds exactly like Steve Perry, which is impossible. But this guy found a way. It's just this one particular night. I don't know what it was. It was just too much, too soon. And it's almost like the rest of the band was looking over at him saying, can you please stop?
Calm down.
Just calm down for the rest of us. We're almost too old to even watch this.
It's exhausting watching you.
So there you go. I do love Journey. Always will. So there's the deal. It's Monday morning. We appreciate you joining us. Boy, some of you are probably having a difficult time getting around. That fog was something. It's starting to clear. It is spooky. It's starting to shift, but depending on where you are, I bet you're having a tough time this morning. So be careful. We'll take a break. We'll come right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's 94 years of business celebration is going on right now. You can save up to $1,930 on a new furnace and AC combo or boiler. Don't miss this great deal. Go to standardheating.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Let me check the text messages real quick, and then we'll go ahead with that stupid news. Medical Device Shipping Jesus is wishing us a good morning all the way from Florida. He says he's listening to us on the app. Hey, the bosses like that when people use the app.
They do.
Whatever that is.
Brand new app.
Bosses like that.
So far, reviews are good, unlike the last app.
Last app had some issues.
All right. And by the way, get the hell out of Florida. What are you, nuts or something? You went down there voluntarily?
The photo he sent was awful pretty.
Yeah, it was.
Also, a good morning from, this is good. You'll like this. Thank you very much. They say, love the show. And they're just checking in. And that's all we ask. Check in. 651-989-9393. When you get a chance, let us know who you are and let us know that you're out there. Good morning, Half-Assed Morning Show. I love your show. Checking in, that's from Better Attitude, Less Breathy Brad Ryder Jesus. If you're a long-time listener, you know what that means. All right, on to the stupid news. Society, as we know it, continues to crumble at our feet in many different ways. In Chicago, a guy pulled a gun on a movie theater full of people after being told to quiet down during a Weird Al Yankovic movie.
Sounds like you just read a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
There's a lot happening.
You can't even go to a Weird Al movie without some derelict piece of garbage wetting his pants. This bitch had his little tantrum last Saturday night during a showing of the hilarious 1989 Weird Al movie by the name of UHF. Good news is no one was hurt. This effing moron had been told to quiet down repeatedly by theater staff and customers after running his big fat yapper through most of the movie. Suddenly, this dickhead stood up and cocked a gun. Because he just, what kind of animals are we to tell him to quiet down?
It is disrespectful to tell him to quiet down after he'd been disrespectful for the entire movie.
Right, how can we diss him like that? So, dude stands up, cocks a weapon. Some folks in the theater drop to the floor. And then the effing clown ran on out of there. Folks got the plate number off of his car, but as far as I know, he hasn't been arrested yet. Well, why not? He got the plate number.
Might not be his car.
That is terrifying. You're just chilling watching a movie, and next thing you know, you hear a gun being cocked.
You're watching a Weird Al movie, too.
Yeah, you think the person would have a good sense of humor, right? You're in good spirits.
That should be the happiest, most laid-back place on earth. But no, not these days. You shush somebody, and they're ready to kill you.
It's a different world, man.
It is.
Back in the day, you could say, hey, you could shush somebody. Maybe not shush, but politely ask them to, quiet down. We're trying to watch a movie, and someone go, you know what? My bad. You're right.
Or the worst thing they would do is throw popcorn at you.
Maybe just eyeball you a little bit.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
Have you guys ever been shushed at a movie?
No.
No, not even when I was a kid. I shut my friggin' mouth when the movie starts.
Yeah, same here. I'd feel so embarrassed. I'd probably get up and leave. Be like, I'm sorry. I'll just leave. My bad.
I'll show myself out.
Yeah.
Back in 1989, when UHF came out, we didn't behave like that. Hell no, we didn't behave like that. I remember watching that in the theater. I remember the excitement at my high school that Weird Al Yankovic had made a movie. We all went out to see UHF. Be alert, gentlemen. If you find yourself with a no-reason boner tearing at the front of your blue jeans, there's a slight chance that someone might have spiked your drink with some of that damn Viagra.
How weird would that be if all of a sudden you're just getting these really powerful erections and you can't figure it out? Mm-hmm. Or you're getting it in the same awkward, situation.
Same setting?
Yeah, and then you're wondering, am I attracted to my foreman?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is?
Right.
Why does this keep happening around him?
Keep getting a hard on at work. And I don't even like anybody here, but I got a friggin' hard on. What's happening? There could be someone spiking your drinky. And then you end up in court like this here lady in England. In her case, she was acquitted after being accused of lacing the coffee at her workplace with Viagras. She's a 62-year-old gal by the name of Karen Beale. And the whole effing mess started because a coworker complained about a weird taste and blue and white specks in the office coffee. He then set up a hidden camera. Karen was secretly recorded. The video showed her using gloves to handle the can of coffee grounds. She looked inside the coffee can. She shook the can. The cops investigated and found that there was effing Viagra mixed in with the coffee, and I guess that was enough to arrest Karen and to get her fired. In court, Karen said that a general manager told her to inspect the coffee before she made a pot, and that's all she was doing with the looking and the shaking that I was telling you about. Karen's lawyer said that this entire thing was just a setup. The lawyer said that Karen had a coworker that didn't like her, and they were just trying to get her canned. The lawyer also said that there is zero video footage of Karen putting anything in the coffee. And it sounds like that's all true. Karen Beale was found not guilty of 2 counts of attempting to administer a poison or other substance with intent to injure, aggrieve. Is that a word, Josh? Aggrieve?
That's a good one.
Or annoy. And she's now looking to get her damn job back. But that all makes you wonder who did put the boner medicine in the company coffee?
Yeah, what coworker has it out for her?
Was it the coworker who hates Karen's guts? Was that all part of the setup, if you believe her lawyer? Lawyer says someone was setting her up, so maybe it was that person that put the boner pills in the coffee, knowing that the manager often told Karen to make the coffee. I don't know. Was it just some dude at the company who enjoys a good old-fashioned midday coffee-powered hard-on in his pants to help him get through his workday? Maybe we'll get an update on this someday, Cubby. Because it sounds like Karen didn't do anything wrong. When she was accused of it, she was fired.
How embarrassing would that be to be accused of something like that?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you're accusing me of what? Putting Viagra in the coffee? What do I look like, a maniac? Somebody's putting Instabone in the coffee. Jesus criminy. All right. Oh. Is there still a coffee pot, an active company coffee pot in this building?
There's a coffee machine, but no coffee pot. It's been missing for a while.
Really?
For like over a year. We actually talked about it last week.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I don't get it because where did it go?
I don't know. And why hasn't it been replaced?
I've checked all the cupboards multiple times just because, I'm like, well, maybe I missed it this last time. Nope. Just gone.
We talked about this on air?
Yeah.
It was very brief.
A week ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last week at some point.
Friggin' beer. All right.
Badass Mother Jesus says, why would Karen even want to work there again? Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to go back.
Right.
It'd be more of a principle thing. Like,
just to show the bastards.
Yeah, if they hired me, then I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, screw all of you for thinking that I would do something like this. I'm out.
I'll show you some bitches. I'll start putting birth control pills in the coffee.
Up the ante.
It's bigger when it's warm out, Jesus said. I had a powerful erection Saturday night. I was watching Tesla at Mystic Lake Casino.
Oh, that'll do it.
I missed the show. I missed it.
For me, when Edison's medicine starts, it's instant.
That's my imitation of the intro to Edison's Medicine. You Tesla fans know what I'm talking about. If any of yous end up in the state of Kentucky anytime soon, and let's say you stop off at a convenience store because you got to squeeze cheese, be ready, because one particular convenience store chain down there is turning they bathrooms into dance clubs for you.
Sweet.
You go into the bathroom to go potty, but you end up doing the single ladies dance.
And instead of tampon dispensers, do they just have like dispensers for Molly? Ecstasy.
They got a tampon gun, like a t-shirt gun. They'll shoot it right up there for you.
Oh, God.
What?
Sounds like a good way to damage somebody's taint.
If you got bad aim. It did look kind of fun. I mean, the video shows a lot of people using it together.
Oh.
And they're dancing together.
That's like dancing with a stranger in a bathroom.
It's like a lot of old ladies.
Wappa likes a lot of old ladies, so keep an eye out for a joint called Hop Shops if you're down there in northern Kentucky. There's 6 of them, according to the story. They've installed big red buttons in their bathrooms with a sign there next to the button that says, "Do not push this button." But there's also an image of their mascot, a frog named Hopper, and he's winking at you, which signals that you could push the button if you want to. And if you do push the button, it temporarily turns the bathroom into a dance club. There's lights, there's a disco ball, and loud music. What an incredible idea. A manager says the disco party bathrooms are such a draw that people are coming into the store just to go in there and dance a little bit.
Little dance break.
It'd be perfect for kids that are potty training.
Oh, yeah.
You know, once they finish, say, hey, we'll have a disco party as soon as you're done.
Oh, they'd be pumped.
It's a great idea, Josh. The boss over there, the manager of the hop shops, said I had a 60-year-old woman who came out the restroom and told her it was the best day of her life.
That's kind of sad.
One young gal says she celebrated her 20th birthday by visiting all 6 hop shop disco bathrooms.
Happy birthday to her.
That's what she did for her 20th birthday. The idea was to do something unique to get people to swing by. And then hopefully, of course, they'll buy some Twinkies and a Jolt Cola. They just wanted to try to drag people in. Hopefully they buy something. They started by trying it out in one location last year, and it's been such a big hit. They're at, like I said, all 6 locations have the bathroom dance hall gimmick. There are more of these hop shops in Ohio, but I can't say for sure if they got the disco set up there. So you go in the bathroom to shake out a whiz, and you end up doing the Harlem Shake. Okay, let's see. That one didn't work. You go in there to whip it out, and you end up doing the whip and the nay-nay.
I forgot about the whip and the nay-nay.
Wapple.
Yeah.
You go in there to the bathroom for dumping, you end up crumping.
Is it crunking?
Yeah.
The online, obviously.
I thought you looked
Maybe
up
there's 2.
popular dances. They're crumping?
Obviously, I was looking up popular dances, and that's the first thing I thought was, did they spell that wrong? Because I thought folks said it was crunking, but the website that I looked at spelled it K-R-U-M-P.
Yep, crumping is a thing.
Crumping.
That's a different street dance.
Mm-hmm. You think you have diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, you end up doing the cha-cha slide. How many more of these can you handle? 2?
As many as you have.
Maybe that's all. You go from Hot Carl to the Carlton? There's a hand jive joke in here somewhere. Pooping and locking? You know, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It looked cool.
It really does.
Everybody looked genuinely tickled by this. Looked fun. I wonder how you come up with something like that.
Yeah.
Let's just have a party in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know the story of when I was doing my bar gig there at Pov's in Andover for all those Thursday nights for a good 10 or so years. I would sit there on Thursday nights. Had a riot, met a lot of great people, loved it at Pov's in Andover. But, of course, we had tunes blaring. We had DJ cranking up the tunes, and so you know how the bar gigs work. Just every 20 minutes or so, I'd say, hey, everybody, thanks for coming. Come sign up for tickets to go see Lenny Kravitz.
I was wondering what name you were going to come up with, and Lenny Kravitz was perfect.
And being totally out of touch with everything that's cool throughout my entire life, I've told you this before, some young kid walks up to me and goes, yo, 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 what's up?
Yeah.
And I said, I think I looked behind me. I said, hey, man, how are you?
What's up?
You need to announce something on the mic, dude. And I said, what's that? Tell everyone that the Crunk Gang has arrived. And I said, I didn't understand the word you just said. The Crunk Gang, yo. And I said, the Crunk Gang? Yeah, dude. And I didn't have any idea what that meant. But I said it. I said, the Crunk Gang is here. And the 4 or 5 members of the Crunk Gang were like, no way, he said it, bro. Come on. And then they all started dancing. I think we were playing Dockin', yet they were
You can't crunk to Dockin'.
That sounds awesome.
Cubby, they crunked the balls off of Dockin'.
They must have been pretty good then.
They were very good.
I wonder what they're doing now. I hope they're all still friends.
I bet they've moved on to whatever the popular dance of today is.
And then, Wapple, didn't you and your buddies call yourselves Crunkers at one point or something?
No.
Oh.
No, we were just the Doink Gang.
But one night at a boat cruise or something, you guys were crunking, were you not?
I think we were dancing, and then you said that we were crunking.
My lack of knowledge led me to define it as crunking. Yeah. Okay, I can believe that. I can absolutely believe it. Folks are texting out with their bathroom dance hall jokes. Gives another meaning to the word drop it while it's hot. Cubby, I would dance with you until the break of dawn in those bathrooms. I would.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be one of those things where eventually they'd regret putting it in there because I'd be like, push it again. All right, come on, push it again. One more time.
Sir, you've had your disco party 35 times. If you press that button one more time, we will throw you out of here.
How many TikTok views do you really need, sir?
Yeah, I think it'd be like what my wife and I like to do Friday nights. Binge watch Netflix or something like that. Where it'd be like, all right, just one more. We can get through one more.
Yeah.
But
One
that's
more.
it. We got to go to, all right, fine, just one more.
One more.
One more episode of the Lenny Kravitz story. Oh, God.
It's such a boring documentary.
All right, now, speaking of dancing, here's the deal. I've seen some angry adults come uncorked many times in my life. They throw things, they holler and scream. I love it. You guys know that about me. I love full-blown adult meltdowns. But I've yet to be on the front lines when an adult gets so damn furious that they cut loose a rage twerk.
Oh.
Have you folks heard of or witnessed a rage twerk?
I don't think so, no.
Just clapping that ass like it's life or damn death. That's where we're going next. And again, with the English here. A dude on English Reddit told this here story. Some dude out there says that his neighbor, who he describes as a, quote, large woman, he says she rage twerked at him after he complained about her dog always coming over and duking on his property. He says this big neighbor gal already had a reputation for being a troublemaker. She's obnoxious as hell. She cusses and swears out loud whenever she's outside. She's that pain in the ass neighbor. And now he says she aimed a rage twerk right at him. So it was after the dude and this big lady had an argument about her dog. This is how he says the twerk attack played out. He says she walked off screaming, telling me and my kids to F off. I told her to get off my property. She walked into the street, and then she bent over and started twerking in the road while slapping herself on the ass. Just boom, 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 boom. She's knocking out this twerk Nami, and she's cracking herself on the ass cheek. Then she started screaming at her dog, and he saw the dog looking very scared of her. So he posted on English Reddit, he said, "What should I do? Animal control in my area is non-existent. It's not the dog's fault that its owner is a ratchet psychopath." I don't know if I... Ratchet? That's an English thing, I imagine.
No.
No? What is ratchet? Explain
like
how that...
trashy, gross.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ratchet, yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that in my life.
Oh.
So he's trying to get this poor dog out of there, which is a nice thing to do. That's pretty effed up right there. If I were him, the next time I saw that little dog all by itself, I'd put the damn thing in my motor vehicle and I'd take it to the nearest animal shelter, but that's not the real key to the story. I mean, not that I hope the dog ends up fine, but the main event here is rage twerking. Brand new to me.
Remember the rage pooping story? Was it like a Starbucks or Panera or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
The lady got so mad, Duncan, it was something like that. She got so upset that she pooped right on the floor, like, all right, I'll show you guys. I mean, it's better than pulling a weapon or something like that. But
I suppose.
Slightly.
Although, both very concerning.
Was that the one where she did it into her hand, too, and then threw it?
No,
Is that a different girl?
No.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. She just went right on the floor.
On the floor. And I'm telling you something, that's not the end of the story. I mean, it's certainly something to know that an adult human being was so mad at a coffee shop that they pulled their pants and underwears down and crapped on the floor. But you gotta see what this lady unleashed. It is truly unbelievable, the size of what she produced that afternoon. It looks almost like a cat came out of her ass.
I think it's one of those things where she was carrying that around as a weapon. She'd been working on that for a while.
I'm telling you.
It was a Tim Hortons.
That's exactly it.
Oh, they don't deserve that.
You would think that was the end of the story. Lady craps on the floor. That's not you have to see. It's horrible, but you have to see. And you're going to say to yourself, I've never produced anything like that in my entire life.
Yuck.
I came close to almost pooping on the floor in a Caribou bathroom because they had a bathroom code, and I didn't know the bathroom code, and it was dicey there for a second.
Don't even begin to talk to me about thinking you're going to end up pooping on the floor of a restaurant. unless you've been in that situation 175 times, you do not belong in my arena, Dana.
I'm not allowed in the club.
Not yet.
I'll work on that.
No, you don't have to work on it. But if it happens naturally, then we'll become even closer bros than we already are. All right. People are texting in about turds and such. Yes, Crocs with socks, Jesus. We have seen the video where the kid has a meltdown in his room. When he gets so mad, he shoves a TV remote up his butt. Yes.
That just came up in conversation yesterday.
That was one of our favorite videos for a good 2 weeks, wasn't it, Josh?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, how it ended up was surprising and pretty insane, but just the look on his face was disturbing enough. That was pure rage by that kid.
100%.
Nordy Jesus has a question, Ashley. Would you rage twerk for charity?
No.
No, she's not rage twerking for charity. Stupid question, Nordy Jesus.
Have you ever been so mad you wanted to twerk in front of somebody, Ashley?
No, never.
I'm going to knock some out right here in my chair.
That's interesting. It reminds me of like the dance movies I watched when I was a kid when they get mad at each other and they started dance off. It's just so cringy. Stop it.
We should have more dance-offs to settle our disputes.
I don't have the energy for it. I'll give it my best.
God, I'd lose every single dispute.
Yeah. Start doing the sprinkler.
Unlike now where I lose every single dispute.
Only with the wife. I've said it before. You're terrific at arguments. You are. You're one of the best I've ever seen.
I don't know about that, but I definitely can't dance. I've tried twerking. Can't get it to work.
No?
Nope.
I don't have an ass.
Tell me about it. All right, one day I will own a cigarette-smoking, smart-mouth parrot. And the two of us will go everywheres together. Me and Donnie. I got a name picked out for him already. It's Donnie. Until then, I'll just have to get by telling stories of other people's cool parrots. Here's the deal now then. Tell me what you think of this. A gal is online claiming that her boyfriend's parrot spilled the beans on his affair. Dude had a side piece and his parrot busted him.
I wonder why he did him dirty like that.
Betrayed.
Didn't give him the right pellets or whatever a parrot eats.
Yeah.
She says the bird kept popping off about another woman named Jess. That's not her name. Did I say her name? I didn't.
Oh, I can't imagine.
It's not Jess.
I would be so... Because I'd want to know more from the bird. It'd be frustrating, like, wanting to ask it questions, but it can't, make sense of what you're saying, really.
Her boyfriend's parrot, named Percy, was repeatedly saying another woman's name and shrieking about loving her. This lady got a, quote, gut feeling about the situation after seeing her boyfriend's reaction to Percy talking about this Jess gal. She saw the look on her boyfriend's face when the parrot was screaming about Jess. The woman says Percy kept shrieking about him loving another woman named Jess, and that's not my name. I asked my boyfriend what the bird was talking about, and he laughed it off. He said the bird was acting crazy. Here's more from this gal. As the night went on, I noticed my boyfriend nervously checking his phone and always leaving it face down, which he never does. In fact, he used to let me use his phone occasionally, but now he doesn't. She asked her boyfriend outright. She asked her boyfriend. She said, "Who's Jess?" He blew up at her and called her insecure. Now they're not speaking anymore, she and her boyfriend. She then asked Reddit dorks what they think, because we've become the kind of people who will ask strangers about. She asked, am I being insecure? I don't know what to do. For God's sake. How sad and stupid we've become that grown people are on social media talking about this. I don't have any of the answers from the Reddit people here, but that's the story she's sticking with. My boyfriend's parrot says that he's cheating on me. What do I do?
Most people had said you just got to investigate further.
Yeah.
And maybe don't take the bird's word for it.
All right.
Although the bird is the word.
It is indeed.
Are you kidding me? Of course the bird is the word. And there's a problem with the parrots at a zoo. The zoo in... Oh, for God's sake, again with the friggin' United Kingdom, Britain, whatever it is. I can't seem to shake them today. An English zoo. They've got some parrots on display at this zoo over there, and the little bastards swear like they're auditioning for a role in Goodfellas. So the zoo has upped and created a plan to clean up the birds' language a little bit. These effing parrots have been straight up telling zoo visitors to F off. Man, what a riot that would be.
And what a shame that is that they're going to correct that behavior.
Yeah.
Just let them live.
The zoo is called the Lincolnshire Wildlife Park. They're going to go ahead and take 8 of these foul-mouthed African gray parrots, and they're going to toss them in a cage with 92 non-swearing birds, hoping that the clean, the clean language, Jeff Foxworthy type of birds will be a good influence on the Andrew Dice Clay birds.
I hope it goes the other way around.
Yeah.
It just ruins the good ones.
That is one of the concerns, actually. That is one of the concerns, that it'll go the other way, and the cursing birds will teach the clean bird, and then, God help us, then they'll have 100 of them cursing at once.
Well, the clean birds are going to find out how cool the cursing birds are. Of course they're going to start to curse. How fun was that when you were younger, learning these new curse words?
Oh, the best.
It was the greatest.
Learning new curse words?
Yeah.
It was a blast.
Absolutely. I loved all that filth, flarn, filth. The African gray parrots, very intelligent. They say they can perform cognitive tasks at the same level as a 5-year-old human. Well, hell, I'd rather hang around a parrot than a 5-year-old kid any day.
Mm-hmm.
6 of them, the swearing birds, 6 of them have men's voices. 2 of them have developed ladies' voices, but they're all swearing. It's kind of funny how they choose to mimic somebody.
Yeah.
And they stick with it. These birds, 5 of them, the swearing birds, are somewhat famous. They became popular on the internet 4 or 5 years ago. I guess maybe you saw them on the internet 4 or 5 years ago because there was a story going around about they were teaching each other to swear. The zoo says no visitors have ever complained. And why would they? Dude here from the zoo has a quote where he says, when a parrot tells you to F off, it amuses you. Hell yes, it does. The best part of the story for me, the word is when these parrots swear, right afterwards, F off, eat me, whatever, they then laugh their asses off.
That would sting.
Yeah, that would be the most painful part.
I gotta see that. Now, they put up a warning sign. Not that, like I said, no customers, clients, whatever you call it, zoo visitors have ever complained. But the warning sign says, if you're going to visit these birds, for your information, every common swear word can be heard in this aviary. So please be aware if you have people of a sensitive nature with you.
Oh,
Now,
I'd be
if this is-
psyched.
This is in England. They throw the C word out.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like we would the F word or something like that here.
That's one of their favorite bits. No doubt about that, Josh. Well, that would be a riot. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe the zoo in England gets tired of them. They send them over here because I would want front row for that.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Paging Manu Ginobili, we have a bat on the floor. Yes, and Victor's pointing it out. The Coyote is always ready. Delay of game, bat delay. This has become a tradition in San Antonio. Success.
I'm Batman. Well, that was a hell of a lot of fun Saturday night. I mean, until the actual ball game, where the Wolves again embarrassed themselves in the fourth quarter, but I won't get into that now. But when I was watching the game, and there's a bat flying around the arena where the San Antonio Spurs play, and the mascot, the coyote, he went and netted the damn thing. I thought for sure I'm watching a replay from years ago, because they have a reoccurring bat problem at this arena. The Coyote has caught a couple in the past. Years ago, Manu Ginobili, who was a big star for the Spurs, he swatted one out of the air with his bare hand. So when it first happened Saturday night, Josh, I thought, oh, they're spinning an old video.
Well, I thought the same thing. I thought it was an old story. You know, sometimes stories get recirculated as new, and so I had to check the date. And lo and behold, right, it was recent. But is this a bit?
Yeah,
because he was already dressed as Batman, and it seemed like the Coyote's dressed as Batman.
I did not notice that.
So I don't know if it's a bit or not. Maybe it's not, because they seem to just recognize, at least the announcers, oh, look at that, there's a bat. And then all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere with a Batman outfit on.
Dude, I didn't even consider that. It might have all been a setup.
Or they noticed it way earlier and got him in. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, because like you said, this keeps happening, and he happens to have a Batman suit. Wembanyama loved it, though.
Yeah.
He loved it.
Yami. The Wolves hope to not embarrass themselves tonight at Oklahoma City. Those are the top two clubs in the Western Conference. Forgive me. I'm not in the greatest mood when it comes to the Wolves the last week and a half.
Sure.
For the love of God, why here lately do they look like a bunch of friggin' amateurs in the fourth quarter? It's driving me nuts. All right. The football games yesterday. What a pisser. Just a pisser. The Chiefs and the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Womp womp.
We'll get into it with Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver. We will. Here in about a half hour. Chiefs, fourth Super Bowl appearance in the last 5 years. God help us all. 49ers, second in the last 5 years. They're not quite as annoying, but they're getting there. Kind of a drag, but we'll get into it with Brad and Randy. Take a break, come back. Josh's news is on the way.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's 94 years of business celebration is going on right now. You can save up to $1,930 on a new furnace and AC combo or boiler. Don't miss this great deal. Go to standardheating.com.
How wrestling really works and how you get the ratings. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson explain on 83 Weeks.
I mean, I dig Jey Uso because he's born out of great storytelling and he lived up to the opportunity and exceeded it. The LA Knight, he's way up on my list because here's a guy that's been around for almost ever, should have probably quit a half a dozen times, and he just forced his way into their life. And now he's making money hand over fist. That is a story I love.
83 Weeks on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
I will not stand here as the sheriff and allow our personnel to be a problem on what we're trying to battle, and they will be held accountable.
A New Mexico police officer was arrested in connection with an incident at an Albuquerque gas station Wednesday night after his shift had ended. Deputy Michael Barreco, he pointed his gun at two men outside of Circle K. The two men told police they went inside the store to buy some items when they first saw Barreco, and they said they saw a gun on his person. Surveillance footage from the store showed Barreco purchased a 100-milliliter bottle of vodka before getting into a dark-colored truck parked in front of the store, which turned out to be an unmarked police unit. He addressed the two men on his PA system because he, quote, thought they were doing something they shouldn't have, court documents read. He reportedly told the men to leave and identified himself as a police officer before flashing his emergency lights at the men and pointing a gun at them, saying, I'm going to take your souls.
Oh, wow.
Which he actually should get credit for. That's pretty sweet.
You like the way that one comes off?
Yeah, if they're going to give him like, I don't know, let's say 2 months in jail, take half off. That's a sweet line. Albuquerque police responded shortly after 11 p.m. and said Barreco smelled of alcohol and initially denied he was armed, but they did find his weapon. He voluntarily surrendered to the Albuquerque Police Department Friday morning after being formally charged with aggravated assault. Sounds like it was just a bad night for the guy because he has been in the spotlight before, but for very different reasons. He was given 2 life-saving awards by the department last year, took swift action on a welfare check, and after he and another deputy saved a gunshot victim's life.
Maybe lighten up on the hooch a little bit, son.
Yeah, maybe just one bad night. A man impersonating a police officer in New Orleans attempted to pull over a pickup truck on the interstate, unknowingly driven by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office deputy chief. The deputy chief, driving an unmarked Ford F-250, saw a white SUV with a Fraternal Order of Police license plate driving recklessly on I-10. 36-year-old Justin Marshall, the SUV's driver, activated flashing blue lights that he'd mounted on his vehicle to initiate a fake traffic stop. Ignoring the impersonator's maneuver, the deputy initiated a real traffic stop. Marshall didn't have a badge, and authorities determined he was not a law enforcement officer. He had to be physically restrained and was taken into custody. Deputies reportedly found a gun and a police radio in the vehicle.
You know I'm fascinated by these grown folks who want to play cop like a 7-year-old.
It's interesting. And
I love it.
So fun when they accidentally pull over a real cop.
Yep. I'm a cop. Go do something with your friggin' life.
A Florida man was arrested for impersonating a police officer after he allegedly took it upon himself to pull over a reckless driver and then called 911 on that motorist.
How nice of him.
29-year-old Devontae Thompson used his SUV to pull over another vehicle in the parking lot of a TD Bank in Pembroke Pines, located about 22 miles north of Miami. He reportedly justified the stop by showing the driver a stolen badge, which once belonged to a now-retired sheriff's deputy in Louisiana. He then called 911, telling the operator the motorist needed to be stopped due to their reckless driving. Come on, we got to get these lawbreakers off the street. Instead, responding officers arrested Thompson for impersonating an officer. I just wanted the police to do their job and get him off the streets, Thompson later said. He said he felt moved to act due to his trauma related to car crashes. I got in an accident a long time ago, previously in my life, and people that just drive recklessly and crazy, honestly, I don't want to get this done again, he confusingly said.
This guy's friggin' brilliant.
When a reporter asked Thompson whether he'd lied to the driver about being a police officer, he responded, "No further questions." The reporter followed up by asking, "Are you denying that you told..." No further
questions. No, you don't say that. We do.
"Are you denying that you told this driver that you were a cop?" he was asked, and to which he replied, "I'm not denying."
This guy's good. He's very good.
For more than a year, the FBI has been hunting the person experts say is one of the most prolific swatters in American history. And now they've got him, and he's only a teen. A 17-year-old from California is allegedly the swatter known as Torswats, who authorities say will be prosecuted as an adult under Florida law. The teen's arrest comes in the midst of nationwide swatting surges, swatting attacks, which typically involve someone calling in fake attacks to 911 in an attempt to solicit an overwhelming police response. Since Christmas, swatters have targeted the homes of prominent politicians, judges, and the director of the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Prior to these high-profile swatting events, a relentless campaign from different, potentially foreign swatting groups targeted hundreds of schools and universities around the U.S. Last May, an officer in Danvers, Massachusetts, accidentally fired his service weapon while responding to a school SWAT. In February, an officer in Saginaw Township, Michigan, rammed his vehicle through the school's locked door to get inside the building following a swatting call. According to the Florida State's Attorney's Office, the charges against the teen include making false reports concerning the planting of a bomb or use of firearms. A private investigator working for a high-profile Twitch streamer who's been swatted has been hunting Torswats for nearly 2 years and actively helping the FBI investigation along the way. "It's a beautiful day," he said. "I'm very relieved Tor will no longer be able to conduct his reign of terror on our schools and public officials just doing their jobs."
Nice work, kid. You're off to a good start in life.
17. He's in some major trouble. A Florida man was arrested Wednesday after allegedly striking a Circle K cashier in the forehead with a chocolate egg and then hopping the counter to further batter the victim. The convenience store worker said he tried to check out John Mayhouse as he was next in line. However, for some reason, Mayhouse refused to let the cashier handle his transaction. Instead, the 27-year-old walked over to another employee, rendered payment, and then threw a chocolate egg toward the victim, hitting him in the forehead.
What the hell?
After the cashier asked him to leave, the man became irate, cops say, and hurdled the counter to push and then strike the victim in the face. When subsequently questioned by police, he reportedly admitted to it all. He was arrested for battery. Chocolate egg to the face.
Yeah,
That hurt.
Head to the noggin.
How did we get here?
About 102 complaints over 3 years made against them. 2 so-called bad neighbors that found themselves behind bars. The Brevard County, Florida Sheriff's Office announced Wednesday the arrest of 2 residents, 56-year-old James Williams Jr. and 31-year-old Kaylin Whitson, for aggravated stalking. Deputies responded to 102 incidents to Williams and Whitson's house for various complaints, ranging from loud music to trespassing. Williams and Whitson continually and intentionally harassed their neighbors. And at several junctures, our team approached them and asked for volunteer compliance to bring a stop to the complaints, the sheriff's office said. When the duo refused to voluntarily comply, they were put on the sheriff's high-intensity target list to bring a stop to this madness and harassment, quote-unquote. Sheriff Wayne Ivey said on social media, the moral of the story, don't be a crappy neighbor in Brevard County.
So these guys would team up for their hijinks and harassing folks in the neighborhood.
Over 100 times.
The hell kind of cheap thrills do you get out of that?
Seriously.
Well, I've been lucky with neighbors. We've heard stories people have texted in about bad neighbors before.
Yeah, same here. I wouldn't know what to do.
I've been lucky, too. I've been very lucky as well, so.
A woman thought to be missing overnight was actually stuck on a gondola for 15 hours at a California ski resort.
Oh, no. That sucks. Swinging up there in the wind?
Yeah. Well, it was an enclosed one, luckily for her. Monica Lasso said she got on the gondola at a place called Heavenly Ski Resort just before 5 p.m. Thursday. A worker had guided her there after she expressed she was too tired to snowboard down the mountain, but 2 minutes later, it stopped, leaving her stranded. Without a phone to call for help, she said she screamed every time she saw a worker down below, but they never heard her. Eventually, she lost her voice from screaming so much. Meanwhile, her friends reported her missing to the El Dorado County Sheriff's Office.
Lasso says the hours felt long as she was fighting the cold by rubbing her hands and feet. She is thankful she survived that experience.
Resort crew didn't realize what had happened until it came back down Friday morning. That situation is under investigation.
Well, at least she was somewhat sheltered in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They think that obviously made a big difference. There was an emergency kit in there, but she didn't find it. Probably didn't even know it was in there.
Oh, maybe there been some granola bars in there or something?
I'm not sure. They didn't say exactly what was in there.
I probably wouldn't have spotted it either, you know what I mean? You're not thinking straight. I saw a really bad horror movie years ago where 3 young people got on the chairlift at the ski resort, and then everybody went home and they just hung there and froze to death.
Was that the one with the wolves and stuff?
Yeah,
I saw that too.
About.
Yeah, the wolves got them at the end.
Is it Frozen?
Frozen, yeah. There's a bunch of kids in the theater. Yeah, Frozen.
And they had a couple of really big songs. Let It Go was a big one.
Everybody sang along.
I just remember that, their hands froze off due to frostbite, and then eventually they launched themselves down into the snow to get out of there, and then the wolves got them, and that was the end of that.
A Russian man was lucky to be alive after he escaped a fire at his apartment building. But his luck ran out after he died in a second fire just 2 days later.
Oh, F me.
Police say the man managed to escape a fire in his 4th-floor apartment January 23rd. But incredibly, he died in another fire January 25th. In the fire on the 23rd, a mattress in the man's home caught on fire, but he managed to flee to safety. 2 days later, he died in a second fire. Authorities have not confirmed if he died in the same location where the first fire took place or somewhere else. The number of such fires in Russia in 2023 more than doubled from the previous year. There were 939 such fires last year compared with 416 in 2022, meaning the number of these types of blazes increased by 125.7%, investigators said. Many of them are unexplained, and Kremlin and local officials rarely make public statements on their causes. Firefighter shortages have also been reported.
Can you believe that?
That's some Final Destination stuff right
Most
there.
definitely.
Fire comes back to finish the job.
He's thinking, I'm the luckiest guy alive.
Yeah.
Well, don't got to worry about fires anymore. Survive one. I'm fine.
A teacher in England was caught masturbating in a public women's bathroom.
What the hell?
While he was only wearing a bra.
Oh,
Jesus, criminy.
It's kind of hot. 41-year-old Stephen Ballantyne spotted by a shocked mom and her 5-year-old daughter in the women's room. Another woman then stumbled across the disturbing scene, and the performing arts teacher was later convicted of outraging public decency and then fired and banned from teaching indefinitely. The education secretary said, although this matter relates to conduct outside the education setting, the panel was of the view that Ballantyne's actions were relevant to teaching, working with children, and working in an education setting. His behavior in committing the offense could undoubtedly affect public confidence in the teaching profession, she said.
Well, yeah.
The panel said Ballantyne, who did not attend the hearing and was not represented, had shown little regret or remorse for his actions.
He don't care.
Hey, if he wants to just wear a bra and masturbate in a women's room, that's up to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to whack off in the bathroom, at least have the decency to go in the stall and close the door.
Oh, I think that part of it was having people catch him.
Yeah,
I'd imagine that was a big
That's
part
a
of it.
troubled dude right there. Troubled.
A pair of identical twins, separated and sold as babies, have been reunited after one recognized the other in a TikTok video. Amy and Anno were born in the country of Georgia in 2002, but stolen from their mother and sold on an illegal child adoption market thought to be linked to organized crime. Their mom was told her children had died. One of the twins, Amy, recognized her sister at the age of 12 when she was featured on an episode of Georgia's Got Talent.
Georgia's Got Talent?
I didn't even know they had such a thing over there.
I didn't know they had talent.
The other Anno became suspicious 7 years later when a friend sent her a TikTok video of Amy, and they said they looked very similar. The pair have since been united after a mutual friend connected them on Facebook. They discovered they'd been separated by an underground Georgian child trafficking gang, which sold babies into adoption from the 1950s to 2005. Their adoptive parents said they'd been unable to conceive and had been offered adoption by someone at a hospital in western Georgia, but they didn't know the practice was illegal. Child adoption trafficking, which is believed to be linked to criminal gangs working with corrupt hospital officials, has died down since 2005 when Georgia changed the law on adoption and strengthened protections against the practice.
I'm ready to be reunited with my real twin brother.
You don't think the one you've got is real?
I have my suspicions.
Anything specific?
He's just so ugly. Can't be my twin brother.
Police are looking for a
Look at me, Cubby. Look at me.
I know, you're gorgeous.
Look again.
It's like the movie Twins.
Oh.
You are Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is Danny DeVito.
There's no doubt about that. That's brilliant.
And the guys that are powerlifting with him right now totally agree. Police are looking for a motorcyclist who posted a video of himself speeding from Colorado Springs to the Denver metro area in about 20 minutes.
Where's he going?
A trip that typically takes about an hour.
Oh, boy, he was really cooking.
Reckless riding, it has no space on any estate. People like this, it just make us look really bad.
Rendon Dietzman, a 32-year-old from Texas, recorded himself going more than 150 miles an hour, squeezing through small gaps in traffic and traveling on the shoulder. The video has since been deleted from YouTube, but the State Patrol shared the clip last week, which you can watch on 93x.com.
Please, somebody notice me on the internet, please.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm risking my life.
Dietzman, known as Jixer Bra on YouTube, has posted multiple similar videos from different parts of the country. He's wanted on charges of menacing, reckless endangerment, reckless driving, speeding, being too old to call yourself Jixer Bra, driving without a license, driving without plates, and several other charges.
Come on, dude.
Investigators say numerous drivers and online viewers contacted Colorado State Police about that incident.
How old of a cat is he?
32.
And hit me with that nickname one more time.
Jixer Bra.
Jixer Bra.
But his real name is Rendon?
Rendon.
I've never heard that one before.
Rendon Dietzman.
Rendon. I wonder what the hell happened there.
Rendon with a D.
Oh,
yeah.
I did that twice, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, my bad.
150 miles an hour. I was watching the video, and I know he survived, but I still thought, oh, he's dead. Oh, my God, he's dead. He's never going to make that.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I've seen police chases like that, too, where I thought, oh, this cop's going to crash. But even though you know how it ends, pretty freaky stuff. That is on 93x.com. Birthdays today.
Freaky stuff.
Minnesota Wild center Joel Eriksson-Ek turns 27. Tom Selleck, 79.
Oh.
Shout out to listening from Osaka Sheezus. Happy birthday to Ohio Moose Stuff Sheezus from EB and Nebe to Sleepy Sheezus. Happy birthday to Asian Cop Jesus' cousin, the Better Ross Jesus, from your smoking hot girlfriend, Organ Grinder Jesus. Happy belated birthday to Leather Scrotum Jesus, who just got home from celebrating his golden birthday in Vegas, from I Love Leather Scrotum's Leather Scrotum Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
It was the hardest wood I had ever touched.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty, second down. Tarney, offense number 4. It'll be first and 10.
He gets the protection. He goes long and on his back to ice it. Let me bring in Travis.
Bring in the big guy.
Who had an amazing game.
You gotta fight for your right to party! Believe it, baby. We're going to Las Vegas, Nevada, to go get us another one. And there it is. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl.
Here's the NFC Championship trophy. George Kittle, come on in here, man. Let's go, Faithful. We're back, baby! Woo!
All right. Someone help me. I got a question right from the get-go. What is with the character voice Travis Kelce uses during postseason interviews?
I don't know.
That was him?
Yeah. He morphs into this separate, really obnoxious club DJ type of character.
Gosh, I almost forgot how much I hated him for a little bit. Taylor Swift blinded me.
What is that? What's that dual identity thing?
He's got that weird delivery at times.
Sounds like he's cutting a promo in WWE.
Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, what a pisser, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
exhausting.
We've got the boring Super Bowl matchup blues this morning on the program.
Yes, we do.
That's a real shame.
Totally with you.
It's going to be the Chiefs and the 49ers playing for this year's Super Bowl trophy. It could have been something special.
Could have been. Should have been.
Kansas City took out Baltimore. The Lions picked the worst time to go back to being the Lions.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
The newspaper headline from the, what do you call that paper in St. Paul, Josh?
Pioneer Press.
The newspaper headline for the Pioneer Press sports page, The Lions weep tonight.
That's a good one.
That is good.
What can you do? It's the Chiefs' 4th Super Bowl appearance in the last 5 years, the Niners' 2nd in the last 5 years. I mean, the Ravens, they had the right attitude. The governor of Maryland is chug-a-lugging beers in the parking lot.
That was
before the
awesome.
ball game.
Cool.
You don't see that kind of thing a lot.
Maybe not since Jesse was the governor. Ventura. The governor of Maryland, his video going around. He's shotgunning beers with the fans out in the parking lot.
I've never been able to do that.
Shotgun a beer?
Yeah. With, he just piercing the can there and going for it.
Is it because it's too cold, or?
I couldn't tell you. I just can't do it.
You guys are. I was never able to do that either. The way it's meant to be done.
Just a mess.
Well, you guys are you're all chug-a-luggers. You can stab that can and suck it down like that.
Probably not anymore, but back in the day, I was pretty prolific at it.
I could never do it.
I was always told that if you stick your tongue out a little bit, just push it forward a little, it helps open up your throat more.
It sounds like a lot of work. How about I just drink a beer? Can I just drink my beer at my own pace? How does that sound?
No.
That was always my thing back in the day. Why are we going so fast?
Yeah.
We got all night for this. Anyway, this is also upsetting. Travis Kelce, he and his alter ego combined, they set an NFL record for career postseason receptions during that win against Baltimore yesterday. He had a grab in the first half that gave him 152 postseason catches. That moves him past Jerry Rice for most postseason catches in NFL history. The difference, in my opinion, being that back when Jerry Rice was in the league, they were playing actual football.
They were actually playing fewer rounds, too.
Yeah, good call.
And they ran the football now and again. So,
Still, though, you can't take anything away from the guy.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take it away.
The guy's a prolific tight end.
Brad's going to take it away from him, too.
I'm glad you guys are still going to take it away from him.
I think you still have to give the guy some credit.
If you think your day sucks so far, what's that?
Frustratingly, yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but I think you still have to give him credit.
If you think your day sucks so far, at least you're not a kid named Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
What a dope.
Yep.
Gosh, what an idiot.
With the Baltimore Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs game yesterday, Zay Flowers. So, man, what a nightmare. He gets flagged for taunting on a big play. The big play they were desperately needing.
Yes.
Act like you've been there.
Yep.
Gets flagged for taunting. He stood up. He shoved the defensive back down onto the turf, and then, he has to spin the football on the field and do this little pose, to let the guy know, I got you on that one. Gets flagged for taunting. Takes the team back 15 yards. But then eventually, 4 plays later, there he is on the goal line with the football. We were just talking about the beauty of this play when the Chiefs played Kansas City. Wait, the Chiefs played Buffalo, sorry. He reaches the ball out for the end zone. It gets chopped out of his hands. It goes out the back of the end zone. Touchback.
Yep. That was painful.
All in one series for this Zay Flowers. But he wasn't done yet. In effing his day up. He went back to the bench and punched the bench? Is that what he did?
Yeah, he slapped it or whatever.
Scratched his hand, yeah.
And did that keep him out for the rest of the game?
I
wasn't paying close attention.
I don't know if it kept him out for the game.
I noticed that, when they kept going back to him, it was when the Ravens' offense was out. So I imagine, he wasn't in, and he looked like he was pouting.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the rest of the game or not, but
fair enough. I wasn't paying that
what
close.
a sequence of events for that kid.
Good Lord.
Right.
Is he not a rookie?
He is.
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, that does.
That really, really, really sucks. Feel bad for him. Heat of the moment. Acted like a jackass. And the Ravens, turned the ball over. God, we were all hoping so badly that they'd...
I know.
So bad.
It's a total drag.
It was cool when they would show the shots of the stadium, everybody in Detroit packing that stadium, going nuts. That was cool.
Yeah,
It was like the game was being played there.
Yeah, honestly,
they were that into it.
By the way, Josh had it included in his intro. It was funny hearing that referee try to call out penalties.
We heard him go through puberty.
Yeah. The best is if you were watching it, you could see on his face that he's thinking, I'm going to end up all over social media.
Yep,
Why did I have to get a cold?
He's trying to call out penalties, and his friggin' voice is cracking like a 7th grader.
Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty, second down. Tawney, offense number 4.
I felt so bad for him.
That's good stuff, though.
Or is it possible that, of 43, I didn't see what he looks like, but how old would you guess he is? 30s, 40s?
Oh, maybe
40s.
Yeah, late 40s maybe.
Is it possible that his balls just dropped?
I don't think so. He's a manly looking dude.
Would that be an all-time record? And then the Lions. Like I said, they picked the worst time of year to go back to being the Lions. 24-7 halftime lead over the 49ers, and it went away, and they lose by 3.
I know it's easy to say now, but there's a couple of times in that game where you should have just kicked a field goal.
Yeah.
The second time for sure.
The second time for sure.
The second time for sure.
And even the first time in the second half, that would have put you back up 17.
Yeah.
Right after you stop them and force them to a field goal, you get the field goal back. You feel like it's a wash, but man,
and they march right down the field after that happened.
Well, and then the lucky pass off the face mask. And
that was nuts.
I just felt really good about us converting, getting our momentum, and not letting them play long ball. They were bleeding the clock out. That's what they do. And I wanted to get the upper hand back. It's easy hindsight, and I get it, but I don't regret those decisions. And that's hard. It's hard because we didn't come through. It wasn't able to work out. And I understand the scrutiny I'll get. That's part of the gig, man. Just didn't work out.
He's going to get fired.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. But he has to understand he's not playing the Panthers in October here. Seriously.
Well, that's his style, right?
I understand though. I understand the logic of what he's talking about, and I love the fact that he'll accept the responsibility. He understands. They kept saying in the broadcast, the fastest to 30. That was the number that they felt like you had to get to in this game in order to win, was to have 30 points. And, I think he was just doing the math in his head, figuring if we can just get these touchdowns, we are going to be able to hold them off. And unable to do that, you let them back in the football game. And then some just crazy things happen, mistakes happen, and drop passes. The drop passes killed them. There are just a lot of things that just went wrong for them in the second half that was just very disappointing.
Dan Campbell, he's one of those guys. He's one of those, I don't know, what's the old football term, like a gunslinger type guy, right? He's going to go for it. He's a hard-on. He doesn't back down to anybody. And, you take the good and the bad with that.
Yep.
You do.
You know what I really liked reading about after the game? Dan Campbell said to his ball club, this might have been our one shot because it's going to be twice as hard next year to get back to this spot.
Yep.
Where a lot of coaches like that hard-on in Philadelphia said, we'll be back next year.
You can only say so much. You got to live it, unfortunately. You got to get your heart ripped out, which we did. And it's a lesson learned. And look, I told those guys, this may have been our only shot. Do I think that? No. Do I believe that? No. However, I know how hard it is to get here. I'm well aware it's going to be twice as hard to get back to this point next year than it was this year.
Yeah.
One line's fantastic.
Schedule will be difficult. Yep. Everybody's looking for you now.
Right.
Yeah. Injuries could play a part. You never know.
One texter said that how come it was the NFC title game where Dan Campbell turned into Wayne Fonts?
I've not thought about that name in a long time.
For you older football fans, I'm sure they're joking. They're not really comparing Dan Campbell to Wayne Fonts.
In fairness, Wayne Fonts was the guy that got him to the NFC Championship game the last time, too.
That is true. Oh, man.
I like the way Two Pumps and a Squeeze Jesus puts this. He says, we got the white bread of the Super Bowl matchup.
We do.
This may be the first Super Bowl that I just might ignore. I hate to say it, but it might be.
I hear you.
You know what, Randy?
I may just pass on it and do something else and just look at the score later and say, okay.
I was telling Nick and Josh, though.
Tune in the second half and see what's going on.
I may not even do that.
Tune in for Usher. Turn it back off.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like you still have, like the Super Bowl appetizers and the commercials are fun.
Me and a roommate in college, we skipped the Bears-Colts Super Bowl. We didn't care about the matchup, and we had a bet to see who could go the longest without finding out who won the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's fun.
Randy Shaver, I'd be proud of you if you just ignored it altogether. I'd be proud of you because you're a friggin' junkie.
I am, and
You have how many?
I've never missed one in as long as I've been alive, and I've been able to watch them. I've never missed one.
Well, here's something you can do: get so damn drunk you don't remember the next morning who won the.
Aren't you in any, Randy? Aren't you in any like playoff fantasy type things? Though, so I mean, that gives you a reason.
You can find out in the morning what happened there too.
That's true.
I'd be proud. Keep us posted on this, Randy Shaver.
Yeah, we'll see. I was just I was so let down last night. I really wanted Baltimore to get in. I really wanted the Lions to get in. I'm so tired of Travis Kelce. Just so tired of Travis Kelce. I'm so tired of the Chiefs. They may burn me more than the Patriots.
Randy, there's a rumor out there that he's dating Taylor Swift. I don't know if you've heard that.
I'm just so tired of it.
I could tell from the second you cracked the mic, Randy, that you're extra angry today. And
the 49ers,
boring.
They're so good. I get it, but I'm so tired of that too. I don't know.
Brad Ryder.
So defeated.
I'm defeated this morning.
It's okay, Randy. We all are. And I like that you're expressing yourself. Brad Ryder's text yesterday had me laughing my nuts off. At one point or another, I know you've said this before on the air, but you texted it again yesterday. I fell asleep. I didn't watch much of either game, really. I watched, 2 or 3 plays from the Baltimore game, and I fell asleep through the entire first half of the NFC title game. And I woke up, and my phone got a message from Brad Ryder, and it says, Brock Purdy is Nick Mullins with better weapons.
It's true. I'm sorry. It is.
I agree with you. I really don't see anything special about that kid at all.
Yeah.
If that pass gets intercepted, Detroit's going to the Super Bowl.
The one that bounced off the dude's helmet?
Yes.
This is funny. Now, medical...
And everybody's praising him for leading the comeback. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not buying it either. Got a text from Medical Device Jesus. You know he's a Michigan guy. But yet he still had the heart to bust some balls here. He said, if there are any Lions fans listening, just know that we feel for you 24/7. You won't feel pain like this 24/7, even though it will feel like it's 24/7 for a few weeks. If you're not following this, 24/7 was the score at halftime before they wet their pants.
Yes.
It's very well done. Oh, so you don't want to be Zay Burger. What the hell's the guy's name?
Flowers.
You don't want to be Zay Flowers. I mean, this is very different because this dork did this for attention more than anything, but you also probably don't want to be the Lions fan dork that got the Super Bowl champion tattoo at the beginning of the season. I mean, I'm upset at myself for even bringing this up because there's only one reason why you do this is so somehow you get on a website and someone will talk about you. This has been happening year after year. Some dork fan of some team gets the tattoo before the season. So whatever.
I've never been more sure of anything in my life. So I got this early August, a week before the first preseason game. I knew they were doing it. It's happening. Yeah, there's a few haters out there, but mostly everyone's been positive. The longer it goes, the more people have been on board. It feels like destiny now that it's our turn.
You were only sure of one thing. You get attention on social media and sports websites. That's the only thing you were sure of.
Getting tattoo removal is a pain in the butt, too.
He started a GoFundMe page to send him to the Super Bowl. Is that for real?
Oh, for God's sake.
Just shut your mouth and go away. I'm kind of a big deal now, but I can't afford a trip to the Super Bowl.
I'm kind of happy the Lions didn't go, just because that guy doesn't get to celebrate it.
That's it. Yeah, we're all boycotting this year's Super Bowl.
Let's all go to a movie.
Don't go see Iron Claw.
You didn't like that movie.
Do not go see Iron Claw. Yeah. I don't remember. I mean, I guess there was a few Super Bowls with the Patriots where I was this uninterested. But it feels even worse, like Randy said. I think you're more burned out than you were with the Patriots.
Yeah, it just feels like it.
All right, how about some Super Bowl? Yes,
and it's not like I'm going to cheer for the 49ers to beat them in order to, feel better about it. I don't like the 49ers either.
Yeah, right.
I just got a text from a friend. I've got to defend my comments a little bit. It's not that I don't like Brock Purdy. He seems like a very likable guy. In fact, he's making less than $1 million this year. So I'm happy for him.
I'll start a GoFundMe for him too then.
Right. I just don't get the MVP talk and all that stuff.
I'm not apologizing for jack squat, Brad Ryder. I stand by what you said about Brock Purdy.
I'm also not making $1 million this year.
No, you are not.
Yeah, nobody feels bad for me.
I don't agree with you about the Nick Mullins. I'm sure you're saying that in jest.
I am a little bit. But
I think Brock Purdy's a pretty darn good quarterback. And yes, he's got great talent around him. It does make a difference. We all get it. He's got a very, very good offensive line. He's got a lot of things in front of him that make him better. He's got a great coaching staff. Talk about a kid who fell into the perfect place for him to be, as good as he is. But he does do some things with his legs and with his arm that makes him pretty good. So
we're all upset. We're all disappointed. Randy Shaver, if you just tuning in, said he might not watch the game altogether, the Super Bowl this year. He might ignore it altogether.
I might not.
What? And that's great. And again, keep us posted on your feelings on this, because I'd likely join you. You want to go down to the Boom Boom Room or something?
They'll probably have the game on, though.
Ah, Christ. Let's go to one so sleazy they don't even have any televisions. No televisions in there. Okay. Would this change your outlook on Super Bowl Sunday coming up in whatever it is, 3-4 weeks down the road? What if we started a GoFundMe to send you to the Super Bowl, Randy?
No. I'd love Vegas. It'd be awesome. but no thanks.
I think my only rooting interest, speaking of Vegas, is that just multiple players get arrested for like horrific things over Super Bowl weekend.
That'd be fun.
I just read something this morning that both teams are staying like 30 to 40 minutes outside of the strip or something like that.
Very
Stay at the
smart.
Bellagio.
Very smart.
They're not staying anywhere near the strip?
Nope.
Staying way out of town?
That doesn't mean Ubers can't drive them, I guess, but...
If they're 34, isn't the cat house, isn't that like 30, 40 minits off the strip? Maybe they're staying near the cat house.
I don't know. They're staying near Lake Las Vegas, I saw, which is about 30 to 40 minutes outside.
Been to Lake Las Vegas?
It's where we used to stay.
I bet you don't need a very big bikini to walk around Lake Las Vegas. They let you go.
That place actually used to thrive and used to have casinos out there and everything else, and it's so dead now it's not even funny.
Yeah. Well, at least Taylor Swift will be in Japan so that Travis can focus on the game.
She's not going to be at the Super Bowl.
She'll be at the game, but she won't be there the week of.
Are you kidding?
She'll be at the game, but she won't be there the week of. So.
Randy's going to puke, Brad.
It does seem like they're showing her a little less. Maybe they're getting the message that people are a little tired of it.
Well, there was a video of her from the game yesterday where like lip readers were trying to figure out what she said, and I guess it looked like she noticed that she was on the screen, registered it for a while, and people are saying she said, "Please go away."
All right.
I wondered.
I love you, Ashley, but I want no part of this conversation. I want absolutely no part of it. Here are some Super Bowl statistics as we creep up on the game that some of us may ignore altogether. The average viewer will only watch 29 minutes of the game itself.
Well, that's actually a lot.
There's a lot of other things going on, right?
Actually a lot.
That's a lot. Each quarter's 15 minutes if there's 15, 30, 45.
You're talking about game action or...
Yeah, the actual game. The actual game. All right, whatever. Only a third of Americans can name last year's Super Bowl champs. Wapple, who won the Super Bowl last year? Go.
Oh, boy, I can't...
Give them some time.
True. Don't overthink it.
Give them some time.
The Eagles?
The Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, the Chiefs. Duh.
The Chiefs, man.
For back-to-back.
Wapple, who gives a rat's ass?
This is why we're so tired.
I really didn't care last year, and I really don't care this
But
year.
that is how it plays out. Isn't it funny how, you act like it's the biggest damn deal in the world. I don't know, 3-4 months later, someone asks you won the game. I don't know.
I don't even know if I watched the Super Bowl last year.
No,
you did.
You get high a lot, though. I bet you did.
He was crunking. He was crunk dancing with his friends. The top things people will buy before the Super Bowl. Go ahead. Who wants to guess?
Wings.
Food. Beer.
Well, no. Not
snacks.
TVs.
Bigger purchases. Yes, TV.
Television.
TVs.
Oh, couch.
Couch. There's two more.
A new grill.
Yeah. The last one is really odd.
TV trays?
Well,
Dishes?
you're close. Dish. How the hell did you know that?
I read the article.
You son of a bitch. Dishes. You go shop at what?
I guess that makes sense because
No, it doesn't.
you want to get
if you're having a
bigger
party,
serving trays. Yeah, if you don't already have them.
Paper plates is the answer.
Yes.
Maybe a nice charcuterie board.
I'm not going to go.
Yes, charcuterie.
Those boards are pricey.
Charcuterie board.
The game starts today. We better go out and get some new dishes. F that. I got a stack of... I don't care who's coming over. I got paper plates and plastic forks. Go buy a grill, a new couch. That's a spendy deal
Yeah. Whoa.
Charcuterie.
New couch. Carcucci?
Yeah.
Oh, for Christ's
Nice
sake.
charcuterie board.
A coochie board.
I didn't even react to that because I thought you were using the proper term. What is it now?
The real word is charcuterie.
Charcuterie. I thought Dana
A
was...
hoochie board.
Yeah.
I'll show you a hoochie board.
Yeah, you will.
Nick already brought that up. That's where he wants to watch the game.
I want to take everyone to the hoochie board. What a nightmare. All right, we'll move on. F it. We know who's playing. Maybe we'll watch. Likely we won't.
I tell you what I won't be watching.
Go
is
ahead.
The stupid Pro Bowl this weekend either.
You don't want to see Depot out there?
Jesus Christ.
I love Depot, but I'm not watching the stupid Pro
I
Bowl.
know.
I love
They're
Depot,
showing
too.
all the commercials for it yesterday.
Depot even admits he doesn't really do anything during this. There's no game set up for the long snappers.
No, I haven't had an interest in a Pro Bowl since I think I was in high school, and now that all they're going to do is do cartwheels and tug of war, I don't care.
He just stands off to the side and counts his bonus money.
Is the NHL All-Star Game the same weekend?
Yeah, we're coming up on some NHL.
How crazy is that?
Something else
this weekend, right?
Yeah, something else you won't catch me dead tuning into.
Right.
By the way, special ed teacher Sheeses says Fat Jack's in Bach, Minnesota doesn't have TVs.
Oh.
All right.
And I've been to Fat Jack's many times. I love that friggin' place. Do they really not have TVs? I guess last time I was in there wasn't anything to watch on TV.
They don't want any distraction.
Are they open on Sundays?
Looks like it, yeah. Fat Jack's Cabaret, full kitchen, full bar.
Am I the only one that's been to Fat Jack's?
I've never been to Fat Jack's.
Never been. It's wonderful. Thanks for the info, special ed teacher Sheeses. It's I don't know, it's an hour or so out of town. My brother will drive us.
Yeah, 3:30 to midnight on Sundays.
Do they have like anything Super Bowl related on there?
Not seen anything on the website, no.
They'll probably get a friggin' TV.
I was just about to say, you'll make the trip up there and watch you walk in there, and they'll have TVs wall to wall.
Yeah, I would think, for the Super Bowl, maybe.
Randy's a big wheel. He'll say, shut off the TVs, and they will. Randy's a big shot. My brother will drive us. He likes the boom boom room. Many years ago on New Year's Day, I was just planted on the couch watching the college football games, and my buddy swings by, and he's got a case of beer in a cooler. Got a cooler of beer, and he says, hey, I got nothing going on. And we didn't have to work the next day, Josh. We had one of those cool setups where we didn't have to come in on the 2nd of January. And so my buddy walks in the house with a cooler of beer, and he says, I got nothing to do today, neither do you. Want to just drink some beer here at your place, watch the football games? I said, sure. So once we were 6-7 beers in, my buddy says, you feel like going down to the boom boom room? And I said, well, neither of us are going to drive. But yeah, if we could find someone to drive. Called my brother. Out of nowhere. What are you doing? Nothing. Me and Donnie were thinking of going to the boom boom room. My brother says, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
I'm looking on their website. Fat Jack's does have TVs. In the bar area. You just got to stay out of the bar area.
It's still a wonderful place. Oh, if we're not in the bar area, that's okay.
Yeah, we'll be in VIP the whole time.
I love that place.
VIP, wow.
You never got to ask my brother twice to go to the... We were down there till 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's silly.
New Year's Day. We were about the only 3-4 guys in there. It was unbelievable.
Well, then that's a good thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Randy ratio was good.
Speaking of television, Bill Belichick might take a television gig. Just wake me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Somebody wake me when this is over, too.
Oh, my God. Who's going to hire him to talk?
Oh, they'll fall all over him.
These networks only got like 8 or 9 people.
And Brady's
on their
starting
shows.
this year,
They'll
too.
squeeze them in somewhere.
They'll fall all over him.
You know that, right?
Yeah, Brady.
Yeah.
Brady's starting this year, too.
The friggin' lunatic.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. But this is just not your day, Randy.
It is just not. I love football, but, man.
All right, we're done with football now. The Colorado Avalanche have announced Zachy to a 1-year, signing Zachy to a 1-year contract. Yeah.
We're all Avalanche fans now.
Good.
Oh, I am. Zach signed on the dotted line, according to what I'm reading. He'll have to warm up a little bit, and we'll see him on the ice in short order.
That's great.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm. Very happy. Pigs are all done until next week sometime. Like we said, first half of the season is all done. Now they have this all-star party. They ended on a sour note. They lost their last couple of games at home. Saturday night, the Ducks beat them by 1.
I wonder what they're going to do, because will they make moves, or are they a buyer, the seller, or are they just going to ride it out? I mean, I got a feeling that buying may not be the right decision at this point.
No, I would be leaning more toward selling. They're 7 points out of a playoff spot, I think, 30-some games to go.
I mean, that's not impossible, certainly. They can turn it around, but there just hasn't been enough consistency there to show you
there's no indication they're going to get on any kind of a roll.
They certainly did when Hines got hired, no doubt about it. Got themselves back in the chase, but then they completely went the other direction too. So I don't know. Guerin is stubborn enough where he may just say, you know what, we're going to go for this thing. We're going to give it our best shot, and that's okay too. I mean, I just don't know if they've got enough. The injuries have hurt this team, and they just don't seem to be consistent enough.
I don't see them being buyers.
No, probably not.
They'll either ride it out or sell.
Hey, Captain 79 Jesus texted in Randy Shaver and says he'll take both of us to Fat Jack's and we can spend the night in his Ice Castle Fish House in the parking lot.
Oh, sweet. Those are really nice.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know this person from Adam, so the answer is no.
What are you talking about? No. Maybe. You say maybe.
No.
I don't even. You can't even humor the guy.
Come back alive. I don't know.
Oh, this is how great friendships start, I think.
Yeah.
Talk about depressed people. The people who have extravagant ice houses this winter.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
They got nothing to do with them except park them at the.
That just
It is
bizarre?
depressing. Yeah.
I was actually going to go ice fishing for the first time in my life in a couple weeks from now, but it doesn't look like that's going to be able to happen.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's my dad's fault though. He bought all new ice fishing stuff this summer in preparation for this winter. So yeah, it's his fault.
All you can do now is prop them up in the parking lot of your neighborhood boom boom room and spend the night. I'll tell you what happened. Me and Captain 79 Jesus and Randy Shaver, we'd be crashed out in that damn thing 3-4 in the morning when we're finally done drinking. And about 6 a.m., I bet you Randy goes into the damn crapper and just stinks us out. You know what I mean? That's the only danger of those damn things is someone will go in them. If you got to go, just go outside, Randy. All right, the Wolves will try not to embarrass themselves tonight in the fourth quarter against Oklahoma City.
Whew. OKC got embarrassed, though, the other night, too.
Yeah. Lost to the Pistons. Yeah, they lost to the Pistons. Yeah.
But did they lose?
Actually, they got beat pretty good by the Pistons.
I'd rather be beat pretty good than continue with these fourth quarter meltdowns. I've had enough of that. I've gone nuts on this.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it. It happened again Saturday night in San Antonio.
Yep. It's not a good sign.
No.
Sorry.
It tells you that these guys are not ready.
I mean, I'm impressed with what they've done this year.
Yeah.
They've got some pieces that are really good, but man, they can look really bad.
Oh yeah.
They can look so much immature. They just stop playing basketball and start playing hero ball.
Yep.
And it's just it gets so bad.
It's terrible.
You just sit there and yell at the screen. If I'm Chris Finch, I'm pulling my hair out trying to figure out how to get these guys to understand you've got to play the game the way you do in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm. You got to learn how to close these games when the playoffs start. I mean, there's not that big of a margin between where you are and where the team is that you're going to be playing in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
but they've done enough, Brad, where they've beaten some of these teams they should beat. It's not like last year where they really super struggled against teams that they should always. They've won their share, but you're right. There are times where, and everybody goes through it. I get it. Maybe it's just that, maybe they'll get past it. But there are some signs there that you just shake your head and go, I don't know if this team has what it takes. And let's be honest, it's great where they're at, but they haven't won a damn thing yet.
No.
They haven't won a damn thing yet.
No.
They haven't won a playoff series. They haven't done anything here yet. It's great where they're sitting, no doubt, but they haven't won anything yet.
They're a half a game from being the 4 seed right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a long way left to go.
Oh, yeah. It's really sucked lately watching their lack of composure and lack of maturity in the fourth quarter. Now, I got a text message here from a listener, and I disagree. And I think we talked about this last week. He says the meltdowns, meaning the fourth quarter collapses by the Wolves, are strictly on head coach Finch.
Disagree.
These are not high school kids.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No,
I disagree.
Obviously, the coach takes some blame in this, but it's not all on Finch. I can't think of his first name now. Chris Finch. These are not high school kids. There's only so much he can say at times.
I think the perfect example of that is the night that Cat scores 44 in the first half. Mm-hmm. And he tells them at halftime, look, you can't play like this in the second half. You've got to play the game the right way.
Let's not force anything.
Yes, don't get caught up in this trying to get. And what do? They come out right away, and that's all they end up doing is trying to give Cat the ball so that he can get his points. That bleeds into the fourth quarter. It's the same damn thing, and they lose the game.
I hate to break it to you, dude, but, I mean, again, this ain't high school. There are plenty of times when they don't give a rat's ass what the coach has to say.
Yep.
There were some big weekends for some players. That friggin' impossible to watch Luka Doncic scored 73 effing points. See, I'm just as mad today as Randy is. Just nothing.
He's an amazing player, though. I'm sorry.
No, he's a pain in the ass. If it wasn't for the Zach news, this would be the worst day ever. Luka Doncic, of course, he can shoot the living hell out of the basketball, but he is an unwatchable pain in the ass. And he scored 73 points Friday night. Devin Booker scored 62.
Yeah.
His club lost. Phoenix Suns.
Those are two teams that I'm talking about. The Wolves could play one of those two teams in the first round. If they play the way they play in the fourth quarter in the playoffs against one of those two teams, they're going to get bounced.
Hell yeah, they will. Brad Ryder, they if they can't even beat the Spurs, they struggled against Portland, with that same approach in the fourth quarter.
I would not feel good if the Wolves are playing Phoenix in the first round.
Hell no.
I would not feel good about
Absolutely not.
Dallas, maybe, just because they're so banged up, and I don't think they're super deep. I mean, they've got Irving and they've got Doncic, and that's really about it for me. But Phoenix is deep, and they're veterans, and I just...
Phoenix is in that 5-6 spot right now. They're going to play somebody like that.
I would not want to play them in the first round.
How about we close out with some baseball? Because Twins Fest took place over the weekend. Who went to Twins Fest?
No.
Did not.
I hear you.
Did not. They sold out.
Yeah, would have been fun.
Yeah.
Well, Byron Buxton was there, and what is it now? February? January? Where are we?
January.
So, who effing knows, but Byron Buxton was at Twins Fest, and he told the crowd he's back at center field. He's going to play center field. I'm going to play center field.
Well, good.
I hope that's true.
I do, too.
Hasn't played a lot.
I think it's proven that the experiment of him just DHing didn't save him for as many games as you would hope.
It didn't turn out the way I think they thought it would turn out.
Yeah. Might as well just play the guy and let him go.
And then days after Joe Mauer was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame, the Twins announced that Terry Ryan, the former Twins general manager, the guy who drafted Joe Mauer, will be inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame, along with the late Twins longtime bullpen coach Rick Stelmasic. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
I understand Rick Stelmasic's family. Rick died 3-4 years ago, but his family's very excited.
Yes.
And so we'll get to see him.
Stelly deserves it.
And I love these programs they put on the ball field with the. We'll get to see him in August. Terry Ryan and.
I guess I'm a little surprised Terry Ryan wasn't in before this, but
I don't know. Maybe he told him to. He said, hold off until the Chiefs play in 4 Super Bowls in 5 years. He said, wait until sports is at its lowest. The Chiefs are in 4 Super Bowls in 5 years, and Luka Doncic is considered one of the best players in the league. Then I'll go in when things are at their. So that'll be great to see.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Mm-hmm. I love looking back on things like the players that Terry Ryan drafted. 1989 draft, he said, was the one he's most proud of, where they drafted Chuck, new kid on the knoblock, split the Rookie of the Year in 91. Who was the National League Rookie of the Year that year? Go!
Don't know.
Jeff Brown Paper Bagwell.
Wow.
In 89, he drafted Chuck Knobloch, Denny Nagel, Scott Erickson, Mike Tremblay, Denny Hocking.
That's a great draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the guy who made the deal where he shipped A.J. Pierzynski to San Francisco for Joe Nathan Francisco Liriano.
Yep. That was a great trade.
And who else, Dana?
Boof Bonser.
Boof Bonser.
Yes.
He grabbed Johan. Jesus Christ. He grabbed like
Johan.
Coming off like a Iowegian. Johan Santana drafted Mauer.
The thing about the Santana thing, too, he picked him up in that Rule 5 deal in the wintertime when any team could have picked him up, but he got him. So, yeah.
And the Mauer thing, obviously, there was a lot of speculation that he should take Pryor. I mean, there was a lot of people that thought, no, they need pitching and, take Pryor. He was seasoned and ready to play. Boy, what a great decision it turned out to be.
Well, I remember
Ryan.
people especially getting upset when Pryor, just lit the world on fire for his first couple of years there.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, why the hell didn't we draft this guy?
I already told you, when was this? Before we had Joe Mauer on last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I said, when they drafted Mauer, I said they should have taken Pryor. Boy, was I effing wrong. All right, I guess there is some good sports news out there. A listener said his son scored 21 points in 5th grade basketball over the weekend at a tournament in Andover.
Oh, nice. Awesome. That's a hell of a scoreline for that age.
That's the top grade in Andover, 5th grade.
That's where you max out?
That's as far as they go. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It is.
That's not true. Don't say that.
Once you get past 5th grade, they hand you a wife and a driver's license and
cheap bottle of vodka, and you're on your way.
An ice house?
Yeah, they give you a fish house and an apartment in Anoka, and they say you're on your own.
Oh, my God. No wonder the Andover football team's so good every year.
Right. They've been adults for 5 years already.
They're not distracted by the things high school kids are distracted by.
You got bills to pay. Got a wife nagging them.
That's their own version of NIL.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
11th grader's been married for 6 years already. Wait a minute. Yeah, you know what I mean. All right, we got to go, boys.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's 94 years of business celebration is going on right now. You can save up to $1,930 on a new furnace and AC combo or boiler. Don't miss this great deal. Go to standardheating.com.
Afford Anything is not a podcast that tells you what to do. Afford Anything is a podcast that teaches you how to be better at thinking for yourself.
Former NASA astronaut Mike Massimino.
I don't know what the stereotypical astronaut is. They're just regular people who don't give up, don't let failure stop them, and surround themselves with a good team. These are qualities I think that are important for success for anyone.
Make smarter choices and build a better life.
Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
Dr. P. Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
That's 8:26. We're all dialed in here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Here's a guy whose personality will surely cheer us up on this gloomy day, and if his personality won't pick up our spirits, he can prescribe us drugs that will. Dr. James Parnell, a.k.a. Dr. P. Jesus, is in our filthy radio studios. Text us 651-989-9393 if you have a question or concern for the doctor. Hi, James.
Hey, thank you for joining me in the Dr. P studios this morning.
It's nice to be here. You really got to invest some money in these things. They're not that great.
Yeah, I'll make some changes.
We're happy to be here, but we could use some better equipment.
I'll get on it.
How have you been?
Doing all right.
How many pickleball games have you played since I saw you a week ago?
A lot.
Yeah.
I completely overdid it yesterday. I had agreed to do something that I thought was Saturday, but it was yesterday afternoon. So I ended up playing literally like 5.5 hours yesterday.
Whoa, man.
I know.
And that's too much exercise.
No, it's actually bad. My left arm, I'm left-handed. My left hand was sort of cramping like a claw at the end of the day. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, probably overdid it. Didn't quite drink enough water, and yeah.
It's bananas or something.
Wapples had those same hand cramps just for a different reason.
Oh, look at him. Yeah, right now he's clawing up.
Yeah, the secret is to switch hands, right, Wapple?
Yeah.
Stranger.
You gotta pace yourself.
It's always nice to have you in studio, Dr. P. Listeners have been texting in already with their questions, their concerns, things that are right off the get-go, got a listener who's having problems falling asleep behind the wheel ski. He says, I get my night's sleep. It even sometimes happens in the middle of the day. Any ideas? That's from Felon on Two Wheels. Jesus, sounds like a minor case of that, how do you call it, insomnia. Is that the word?
Well, he said he gets some sleep.
Oh, no, what's the one? Narcolepsy.
Oh, could be that. I mean, yeah, that's a good one.
That's the one I was trying to say. I'm sorry. Yeah, narcolepsy.
Yeah, although narcolepsy, I mean, it's a possibility. So narcolepsy is it's a pretty rare disorder where you just suddenly fall asleep. Although if it's happening when he's driving, or that sense when he's driving, the number one thing would be sleep apnea. Someone who's just chronically tired.
Really?
Even though they're asleep overnight.
They're not getting the quality.
Yeah, your body is waking up, and your brain never gets into the correct phases of sleep with the right brain waves to restore how you feel. And so, yeah, I mean, that's
I did not know that was a sign of sleep apnea.
Yeah, because it just means you're chronically, massively fatigued, and people have it for long periods of time, so they're used to feeling this way. So it's not like it's a sudden change, but tasks like driving or watching a movie, sitting down and sort of trying to focus on one thing, that's usually when people will fall asleep suddenly. So that would be, there's
more likely than narcolepsy.
More likely just because it's so much more common.
What about hypersomnia? Because my friend Tara, she has that, and it makes her more tired during the day, like very sleepy during the day, and she said sometimes like excessively sleepy at night.
I guess I don't.
Hypersomnia?
So,
Yeah,
I mean, hyper just
not
means
insomnia. But
hyper means more, so it just means more sleepy. I guess I don't know that disorder.
She chugs 5-hour energy drinks to help it out.
Did she make that up? Hypersomnia? The
No,
doctor hasn't even heard of it.
She's on a real medication for it and all that.
It's a term. I guess I just haven't really heard it as a diagnosis.
Interesting.
So it could be a number of things, but again, narcolepsy.
Not funny in humans, but funny with goats.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of too.
Yeah.
Right? Those are cuter little puppies too. Sometimes, right? But yeah, when you're driving and you fall asleep, it's not so funny.
A friend of mine's grandma had narcolepsy, and I mean, weird. She'd just be standing against a wall. She'd be out eating dinner. She'd be out. She would just fall asleep out of nowhere.
Yeah.
How long would she stay asleep for?
Oh boy, I don't remember. Not too long. But it was, a few minutes or whatever.
False teeth would come flying out of her yap.
She had real ones.
She had real teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she was upper 80s.
This was the grandma with real teeth.
Yeah.
Because you had one that was always spitting
This is
out
my
her.
buddy's grandma.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before we leave the topic of narcolepsy, if you have the ability to go to, you folks are familiar with YouTube?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it, yeah.
There is a narcoleptic dachshund on YouTube.
You've showed me this before.
And you will never be the same again. He's so adorable.
This hyper...
He's running across a field, and then he just...
I've showed people this video because of you, Nick. I love this.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know whether that's true in people, but in animals, it tends to happen more when they're excited.
Really?
I know that's true with the goats and dogs.
Okay.
Those fainting goats or something.
Oh, yeah. I had a couple of those fainting goats, and they were fun to mess with.
But so basically, this person, though, they really do need to, they've got to talk to the doctor because...
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It is, obviously. It only takes once to, take yourself out and other people. And
oh, yeah, that'd be terrible. I've never had that problem, but I got a couple buddies who are just helpless. They cannot. They need pots and pots of coffee. It's a troubling thing. Okay, yes, Josh, I thought
Hypersomnia, Ashley. Is your friend pregnant?
No.
I looked it up. There was a couple of underlying causes. Does she use marijuana?
Oh!
No. Hates it, actually.
Does she?
Oh, wow.
Does she have jet lag?
No.
Okay, well.
all the time.
I've exhausted everything I found on the internet.
Constantly has it. That'd be awful.
Got a question about caffeine, since we're on the topic of staying awake and whatnot. This is from He Doesn't Mind My Tattoo, She Sus. Does it affect certain areas of the brain more than others?
Does she have any examples as to what's happening to her?
No. It doesn't say.
And what's her tattoo, I wonder?
I don't know, but whatever it is, he doesn't mind it.
Doesn't mind it at
He's
all?
cool with it.
Boy, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it, because it keeps you awake, obviously, but it does sort of, I think it can make people jittery, in terms of motor function. So I feel like it probably affects most of your brain, but that's a great... boy, we'd have to have a neurologist on here, and I'm not even sure they would know the answer.
Well, maybe you could. We do have a commercial break coming
I'll
up.
look that up.
You'll have an opportunity to write that down.
But I wonder what they're wondering. Yeah, I guess I'm just. But I'll look it up. Sure.
All right, fair enough. Hernias. I'll tell you what, hernias. They look awful. Don't they? When they're like jetting out from the...
I love them.
They can be endearing. My wife has one.
It's like there's someone there and then there's more of them.
I want to get one too, so we kind of have a his and hernia, She's got one, I got one.
Romantic.
Your wife has a hernia. I think you brought this up before. Does she have the bulging this or that?
Yeah.
Where's it coming out of?
Like right above her belly button.
Oh, no.
Does she have to go and get that figured out?
Nah, the doctor's like, what are you going to do?
Oh, all right.
They're not too worried about
Please,
it.
this is from a listener, a text message, and again, the number is 651-989-9393. Please ask Dr. P if it's dangerous that I have a hernia coming out of my belly button. It's sticking right on out. Doctor told me it's not good, but I just want to know how serious it is. I don't want to have surgery.
The doctor said it's not good. I love it. Well, so yeah, an umbilical hernia is basically what that is. So a hernia, just to refresh our memories, is a defect in the abdominal wall, the fascia of the abdominal wall. So that's like the deeper layer that's below the muscle and the fat. And if there's a tear in it or an opening for some reason, stuff from inside the abdomen starts to kind of poke through. So that's what sticks out. Hernias, in general, are not necessarily a problem. The times they can become a problem are if they're very small and suddenly something squishes through there quickly and gets stuck. So that's called a strangulated hernia or an incarcerated hernia.
Oh.
And that's bad. But that's not very common. But it's an emergency. So if suddenly someone didn't have something sticking out above their belly button, and then suddenly they do, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm in horrible pain, and this thing's hot and red," you got to go to the hospital because you don't want to ignore that.
Hot and red.
Exactly. But once a hernia's been there for a while, the opening gets bigger, and things can kind of move in and out freely. And I'd say generally, for most hernias, it's just a matter of how much does it annoy you?
Yeah.
Does it hurt when you lift heavy things and it just
Some
gets
people
achy?
Some people walk around with a hernia or two for decades.
You really can.
Yeah.
In the groin, they just it tends to be really annoying after a certain point. I had to have one repaired. I got a hernia. It was way early or before COVID, although I think probably I had COVID because I was coughing for like a month or something, and so hard that I gave myself a groin hernia.
Really?
And I eventually had to have it repaired.
From coughing hard.
Yeah.
I can believe that because you just constantly...
Yeah.
You're going to do that while sneezing one of these days, Nick.
Oh, dude.
Or you're going to get me a hernia from one of your sneezes.
My sneezes are likely to... Something's going to come loose. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So you had a hernia from coughing.
Yeah, and I didn't necessarily need to get it repaired, except it was, especially down the lower it is in your abdomen, there's pressure there all the time, and so it just tends to get bigger and bigger, and you're kind of stretching out that fascia and the muscles that are trying to keep things inside, and so it was really annoying.
So look out, if you have a hernia, look out for hot and red like Bryce Dallas Howard.
Exactly. hot red and suddenly terribly painful. That's an emergency. Otherwise, it's really just, is it affecting your life? Is it preventing you from exercising? Is it that's the general rule. Surgeons are happy to fix it because it's easy for them, and it keeps their OR schedule full. But if you don't need it done, you don't have to get it done in general. Yep.
Keeps their cabin paid for, that kind of thing.
I think it's the most common surgery for sure.
This person says, I have a hard lump on my finger. Not painful, but it's grown to the size of a pencil eraser. Hard to the touch. Feels like it might be connected to the tendon. Should I be worried? That's from Like a Sore D. You can't beat it, Jesus.
I don't think I understand that one, but you don't have to explain it to me.
Is it one of those cysts?
Well, I mean, the two things that would be attached to a tendon, the most common would be a ganglion cyst.
Yeah, the Bible bump.
Yep. So that's a benign thing. It's basically kind of got joint fluid in it, and but they don't tend to. I mean, they tend to get a little bit bigger and then stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say it hurt or it doesn't hurt?
Does not hurt.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a proud owner of a ganglion cyst.
Are you?
Yes.
On your finger or your wrist?
My wristington.
Yep. Wrist is probably where most people get it.
And I want to bash it so badly.
You have to use a Bible, though.
Right.
So you know that.
Because that's how they used to correct them back in the day. Someone would just bash you on that cyst with a Bible.
Yep.
But I'm afraid people say that's not the best call.
No, we don't. Yeah, we really don't recommend that.
What about the Book of Satan? If I use the Book of Satan?
Yes, then it's fine.
Okay.
Yep. No, it's just you risk causing other injury if you're whacking it like, jeez. If you thump your, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Not getting any better.
Yeah,
If you
I'm struggling today. Don't do that.
Just jerk it.
But the other thing that can be on a tendon like that, you can have a tumor that is not a good thing.
Oh no!
So if it's something that's getting bigger relatively quickly, and it sounds like they said the size of a pea.
Pencil erase.
Pencil erase. Okay, so that's getting a little bit large. I would
spank it.
No, don't spank it. Just go have somebody look at it though. It's a rare thing to have a.
What if he sucked on it?
No, that's also not good.
What if somebody else did?
Oh boy, we're going down the toilet here.
What we're talking about? We're talking about a cyst.
Trying to help somebody out.
Well, it might
here.
not be a cyst though.
We
don't want to assume. Yes, and you don't. If you have a tumor on your tendon sheath, that's bad. So, yeah.
Bad meaning what?
Well, bad that it can be. I mean, something. It's literally a cancer. So, so it needs to be excised.
Okay.
And out of there. Yeah, and there's features to a ganglion that usually, if the doc looks at it, you can kind of tell it's got some characteristics when you examine it.
All right.
Versus a tumor would be very firm. It wouldn't have sort of a sense that there's fluid in it.
Okay.
I would say get that looked at.
We've got Dr. P. Jesus live in studio. He's a real doctor. He's fielding questions from our listeners as we speak. 651-989-9393. Got a big word here for you. Well, then again, you've used some already. Ganglion. And others like that. So you're not unfamiliar. A listener, Boss Lady Jesus, wants to know, what could high prolactin levels indicate? Prolactin.
Okay. Boss Lady Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, prolactin is a hormone that is released by by the pituitary gland, and which does a lot of different stuff for us. The pituitary gland controls the thyroid and other parts of your body. But the most common reason that prolactin would be elevated is if you're breastfeeding.
Word.
That's it is the chemical that makes women.
Josh said word.
Makes
to
them
breastfeed.
lactate. My God, I'm really struggling with words today.
You're doing just fine.
Yeah. So if you're not pregnant and you haven't been pregnant, then there's a whole host of other things that it could be.
Are you telling me that we might be telling this lady, the first people to tell this lady that she's pregnant?
I mean, probably.
How excited are you about that, Boss Lady Jesus?
Nice. Well, you would think, if she knows that her prolactin is elevated, presumably she's been to the doctor, had lab tests, and usually we as doctors remember to do a pregnancy test if there's anything like this.
Right.
Occasionally we might forget, but, so it'd be good to know. There are some medications that can cause prolactin level elevations. I feel like we've talked about that possibly in the past. I know that Zoloft, which is an antidepressant, can do that. And there's some other medications that can.
Okay.
A pituitary tumor would be the other thing. So a tumor in the pituitary gland that is basically causing prolactin to be released.
Boss Lady, she just got back to us, said she's not pregnant and has never been pregnant.
Okay. But she has elevated prolactin. So yeah, there's a number of things. It also depends how high it is. If it's just a little above normal, that's that's not necessarily. There is an inherited. It might be like familial hyperprolactinemia, I think.
It's fascinating you can come up with these things.
Yeah,
it really is.
Part of it, there's different patients I've had over the years. That,
yeah.
But yeah, a woman who just sort of had this slightly elevated prolactin, and it was just that way, and we couldn't find anything else going on, and that ultimately, I think, working with an endocrinologist, that's what she has. And
okay.
But if the levels are really, really high, that's when you suspect maybe a pituitary tumor, which has to be looked at with an MRI.
Okay. Is it okay if we ever revisit this subject that we refer to it as tough actin prolactin?
I think that's great.
Okay.
Double D She's just said, I had an allergic reaction to a Halloween costume 2 Halloweens ago. A rash keeps randomly forming. I've been to the dermatologist, gave me a steroid, topical cream, but yesterday it flared up again and spread to my face. The doctor said not to put it on her face. I'm assuming she means the cream. Is there any other suggestions besides an allergen test, since it'll take a bit to get in?
Holy balls. A Halloween costume from 2 years ago is still creating a... Last time you take a Halloween costume off a dead body, I bet.
Yeah.
Or out of a dumpster.
That's a really, really good point. Those should be just on the list of life advice things. Don't take a costume off a dead person or a dumpster. That's hard to figure out. So is the question, okay, the question is what's going on with the rash, or is it the steroid question, do you know?
I think it's what's going on. What should she do? It's going to take a while to get in, it sounds like, so.
Ugh. Yeah, and the rash is on her face. Steroid creams are anti-inflammatory creams. There's also, hydrocortisone is an over-the-counter hydrocortisone 1%. If you go to the drugstore, you can find hydrocortisone labeled as many different things: anti-itch cream, hemorrhoid cream, various things. But it's a very mild steroid that you really could put on your face for a few days or a week if you're trying to just
blow up your lats.
No, it's not an anabolic steroid. So the anabolic is the one that builds up muscle. It's just an anti-inflammatory. But we try to have people not use stronger steroid creams that are prescription on their face, because stronger steroid creams can cause thinning of the skin and color changes to the skin. So that's why her doc said you really don't want to put this prescription steroid cream on your face. Yeah, as to what, it's hard to understand what would,
Is it possible that it has nothing to do with the Halloween costume?
I would think it's highly possible it has nothing to do with it, because I don't know how you would. I mean, if you get sensitized to something in the costume and then you're exposed to it, you'd have to be exposed to it again. So, nickel allergy is the most common sort of clothing related, clothing. Well, mostly belts and jewelry related that I've seen. You can get unbelievable rashes from that.
My son just had a rash on his face the other day, and when he went to the doctor, they said something's going around, where they've been seeing mostly kids that have had this type of thing. They tested him for strep, thinking, he's got strep, but he didn't have any on his chest, which, he's had strep in the past and they have a rash on his chest, but.
Sure. So there's lots of viral. That's what they meant, right? A viral. Going around.
Yeah, they said that there's just kind of something going around. They've been treating a lot of people with rashes.
Yep. So there's a lot of different causes for rashes. That's why I guess the thing is, once you if you create an association in your mind, well, it started when I did this costume and then it keeps coming back, but it probably isn't that. So, and it depends what the rash looks like too. Usually a rash from a virus looks different than a contact dermatitis rash, which would be what you would call a nickel allergy rash, or another thing that causes irritation from touching it.
Depends on what it looks like. Well, if there's anyone we'd accept a photo of their rash, it would be Double D.
Exactly.
Especially if that rash goes down to her chest.
Yes, but she really, that would be amazing if she sent that in. That would be the first time we've actually looked at a rash on the radio.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be a radio first.
Hi, everybody.
Dr. P. Jesus, welcome to the Half-Assed Morning Show.
93X.
And we're back on the programski. Dr. P. Jesus has planted his ass in studio. He's helping folks out. They're texting in their health-related questions. I wanted to get to this one here because it's a lady with a question about her child. I have a 7-month-old, she said, and the little kid pulled a crock pot off the counter and landed on her head.
Oh no. Those are heavy.
There's one little mark on her head, and she's acting like her normal self, thank God. But I worry about brain bleeding. Would there be a sign of that? Brain bleeding.
Did you say when it happened?
She did not.
Okay. Boy. That's 7-month-old. Okay, so...
It's like a crock pot right to the noggin.
Ouch. Yeah, that's
Poor
not
kid.
good. I mean, acute brain bleeding, which means right when the injury occurred, you get bleeding. That would be bad. I mean, it would be a worse injury. You would know that. The thing that can happen is, I don't really think of it happening in little kids though. A subdural hematoma is something where a vein can get kind of torn up in the dura, the layers of the brain, and slowly collect some blood. And it's really more of an old person problem, I think, where over a couple of days they can start to have some neurologic deficits. But in a little kid, I don't know how you would. They don't talk, and this kid's probably not walking. So
7-month-old.
Yeah. I would say it's never a bad idea to take a 7-month-old in to have them looked at.
Mm-hmm.
If the doc's worried, they'll do imaging. It's challenging on a kid, but you obviously don't want to fool around with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is heavy.
Hell yeah.
If the kid pulled it by the cord or something, I'm trying to think how that would have been.
Strong kid.
Right. But yeah, there's no simple way to detect that unless it gets.
It would help you
really
if you
bad.
knew how long ago this happened.
It would. Yeah.
Strong kid or an evil crockpot? We don't know yet.
Right. Yeah. Crockpot jumped off there. But yeah, especially with a kid.
You're saying go in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go on in.
I mean, we don't want to assume anything. It's good to get looked at.
Classic Country Jesus has an eyelid that randomly twitches, going on for about 6 weeks, only his left one. I know lack of sleep and stress can cause it, but nothing has changed in my life in that sense, he says.
I know, yeah. I feel like we've definitely had this before too.
Maybe there's bugs in there or something.
Yeah, right.
Are there bugs in there?
Probably laid eggs in the No, almost certainly not. But 6 weeks is a long time.
Dude, bugs have laid eggs in your eyes. Run!
Right. I mean, you do think fatigue, stress.
Can't dehydration do it too?
I guess it could, although to one eyelid.
Does your eyelid twitch when you're dehydrated?
What about intoxication?
Yeah, once in a while it does.
Intoxication.
My eyelid twitches sometimes.
Oh, your eye closes altogether when you get buzzed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could. If so,
I'm very flirtatious.
People think you're winking at them.
One side of your face just gives way.
Yeah, my face droops. My left half of my face gets drunker before my right half of my face.
Yeah. And you wonder, I'm just trying to think about, did they say how old they were or anything? We don't know anything, right?
No.
What was his name again?
Oh, no. Classic Country Jesus.
Oh, he's old.
He's old?
Yeah, he's old.
He is old? Okay. Yeah, I mean, some people who have...
he's like 40.
Oh, gross.
Oh, man, yeah. Do we take questions from 40-year-olds?
You have to answer louder.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the point? They're on their way out anyway. So you die with a twitchy eye. Big deal.
Give him some peace in his final moments.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me come up with a real simple answer. No. So if people who have sort of droopy eyelids, we accommodate. I have a little bit of that. We accommodate for it by kind of using our forehead muscles and keeping our eyes open. And if that's worse on one side, maybe that's an issue. Again, it's so many different.
Helicopter fixer Sheesa said she had that, but it turned out it was a pinched nerve in her neck. She saw a chiropractor for it.
Oh,
a twitchy eye.
Twitchy eye.
That's. I mean, I guess it's. Well, is it possible? We'll
Classic
say
Country
it's possible.
Jesus got back to us. He's 35.
So he's not old. Okay.
We will now answer your question.
Yeah, but I think the things I've usually told people to try, just assuming it's just muscle spasm for whatever reason, trying a warm compress on there, even massaging the muscles around the eye socket, and sort of trying to figure out, is it just like any other kind of muscle spasm anywhere else in your body? If it's not stopping though, yeah, I mean, you got to have somebody look at it, because is there something weird going on with the lid? There could be. There could be something going on with the facial nerve. Things like Bell's palsy, which maybe you've heard of, that causes drooping of an eye or drooping of the face, but sometimes a similar sort of thing can cause other weirdness with a nerve in the face.
Okay.
So, there's nothing simple that's going to answer it.
No. By the way, the crockpot lady got back to us. This happened yesterday, so you'd probably stick to that advice of if you haven't taken the kid in yet, you might as well go ahead and do it.
I would. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's, hopefully they'll be like, this is fine, but you absolutely don't want to ignore it. Yeah.
She says
the little girl is acting like her normal self, but she did ruin lunch for everybody yesterday. I'm kidding. She didn't say
okay. I was like, boy, a full crock pot would be even worse, especially with hot food in it. Should I respond to that caffeine question?
Take her on in. Take the kid in. Yes, the caffeine question was what again? I forgot.
Well, I think it was, does it affect certain parts of the brain more than others?
Right.
I believe that was the question.
Yeah.
I would say it probably doesn't. It really kind of globally affects the brain because it does. I mean, it can help cognitive function, your ability to focus. It can make some people feel calmer, but it can make some people feel anxious, which means it's affecting sort of your personality type parts of your brain, and motor function too. So it's globally affecting the brain. I think there's arguments about whether it is good or bad. In moderation, it's probably fine. People with migraines, caffeine can help resolve a migraine, but if you have too much of it, it might cause migraine. I mean, there's all sorts of things like that. Yeah, caffeine. What is I can't even think the over-the-counter, sort of combination medicine that's got like Tylenol, aspirin, and caffeine in it. Why am I blanking on what it's called? But
what was that? What was that popular pill when we were young? Junior high kids at my junior high, they thought they sounded cool because they were taking blank. It was like a caffeine pill.
No dose?
That's it. I think that was it. Yeah, no dose.
Yeah,
never heard of those.
That's just high dose caffeine. That
were you talking about Excedrin?
Excedrin. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Nice.
There you go. All right,
my mom takes it like candy.
And Ashley knows a lot about drugs. She's our go-to.
My mom gets really bad migraines, and Excedrin is the only thing that fixes. She's even tried like medications from the doctor, and she said Excedrin is the way to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Excedrin is aspirin, Tylenol, and caffeine.
You've covered damn near everything, Dr. P.
You've said too much.
Probably.
We always appreciate you having. We always appreciate you swinging by, and our listeners appreciate your help.
Yeah, great questions today. Tough stuff.
Yeah. Got you thinking a little bit.
Did.
You could probably use some caffeine.
I need some more.
You are drinking a cup of coffee right now.
I did polish it off. Yeah, I mean, I certainly have caffeine every day, but those rules don't necessarily apply to me. So.
I've heard it can be good. I've heard caffeine can be good for you. Right? Is that not true?
In moderation, I think you said, right?
I think it's, I mean, yeah, you can.
Well, anything in moderation. Yeah.
I think, what do they say? A couple cups of coffee a day is probably absolutely fine and may help, brain function and just kind of focus and all that stuff, yeah.
What's your personal Mountain Dew record again, Josh?
In one day?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I don't even know.
It was pretty sickening there for
gallons.
a while.
Yeah. Oh, for a while.
Sickening.
Dude, yeah, I would drink every morning 2 liters here.
Oh, my God.
For many, many years. I would bring in 2 liters.
That's
and I still drink them during the day, yeah.
Woo!
It was ridiculous. It's so good.
It is good.
I had to slow down. It
does taste very good.
People had an intervention.
Yeah, that's good.
I got a call from Pepsi going, all right, we appreciate it, dude, but this is getting ridiculous.
You need to get some help.
You got to slow down.
Other people want some of this stuff.
Dr. P, you old fart, go rest your body.
I know, seriously. I know. I'm going to go lay down,
you're
cover myself
up.
with ice.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, not good. Before we have a concert announcement in a second, but before we get out of here, we wanted to give a shout out to our good friend Ojibwe Jesus and his family. Our thoughts are with you guys. Happy 40th to Fauché Maintenance Ninja from Long Leg Jesus and Juicy Booty Jesus. And here's Wapple with our announcement.
93X presents Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper with Ministry and Filter Sunday, August 25th at XL Energy Center. Tickets for the show go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. You can listen to us on the morning show, Lindsay and Jill in the afternoon all week to win tickets to the show. On the Luther Bloomington Kia text line right now, text URGE, URGE, to 651-989-9393 for a shot to win tickets to Rob Zombie and Allison Cooper, August 25th at XL Energy Center, all furnished by Live Nation.
The Half-Ass Morning Show.
Sponsored by Whole Foods Market.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 90.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's 94 years of business celebration is going on right now. You can save up to $1,930 on a new furnace and AC combo or boiler. Don't miss this great deal. Go to standardheating.com.